right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party! Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party. Guys, that is the best part, so make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. I was just live earlier today if we didn't get nuked by the copyright gods, but hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official magnets. You can get every design in a magnet if you would like, and all that other good stuff as well, only at TheIndianJesus.com. Guys, we do also have a Discord server. It is absolutely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a good time. It's a great place to meet people who are interested in having the kinds of conversations that we have on this channel. And like I said, it's absolutely free to join. However, if you are a member of this channel, you can scroll right below the video here, hit that join button. There's a couple different levels here, but it starts at just only $2.99 a month, and makes, as a member of the channel, you get members only live streams here on YouTube, all that good stuff. But it also gives you full access to the Discord server, which includes our after party. That is right. After every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream, we go in there where we are not stuck with the YouTube censors, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Definitely come and join us. We got Dits Insider in the building. Skull to you, sir. We got Nick Luchetti, the moderator to the stars. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We also got King Nirvana. Good to see you. Good to see you. And shout out to Huge Erection. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said DEI is dead. Hire based on merit and skill. Nope, we don't like any of that over here. I'm kidding. But that is exactly what we are going to be talking about tonight. So over the weekend, I saw Am I Racist, the new Matt Walsh Daily Wire documentary movie. I saw it twice. It was that good. It was that good. I saw it twice. And, the first time when I saw it, no spoilers here, but, he goes in, he gets DEI certified, and then he goes and does his stuff. So when the first time I was seeing it, I was like, oh, is that like a real site? Like, can I do that? What are we doing here? And I missed it. But yesterday I got up early to see it with Papa Lutch, and I present to you diversityinclusiontraining.com. So I've already signed up. It's only $29.99 and should only take about the time of this stream for me to become a legitimate certified diversity, equity, and inclusion expert. And I'm excited, guys. I'm excited because then anytime I have a conversation with a lefty about anything, be like, up. Are you certified? I'm certified. Y'all appeal to authority and everything else. What do the experts say? Oh, the expert is gonna be me. It is. And again, if you have not seen Am I Racist, you absolutely need to go see it. It is so good. It hits the nail on the head. It's not, I don't think it's quite as much of an event as What is a Woman was, but I think we've needed something like this documentary for so long. And I figured let's see what really goes in to becoming DEI certified, because a big part of the movie, of the documentary, is how much money these people are making for just speaking. King said, DEI doesn't include us short guys. Height racism, maybe. Well, there you go. There you go. So now we're maybe I will be able to add that into another a layer of the diversity and the inclusion that short kings are welcome to. We got Peace Swag in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the parties. It's so proud you've chosen to start this important journey. It is, and a journey it is as well. As Ibram X. Kendi said, anti-racism is not a destination, but it's a journey that is ongoing. With that said, let's do it. So as always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Training. This course covers diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. It discusses
In the
how to
workplace,
foster a
okay.
diverse and inclusive organization, describes the many benefits that can result as well as the actions that can undermine diversity, equity, and inclusion, and illustrates how
Okay,
unconscious
okay, does work. We wouldn't want to undermine diversity, equity, and inclusion.
biases can unduly affect even the most conscientious employee. Completion time, 1 hour.
All right, 1 hour, 1 hour plus the time we're talking to you. Hopefully we can get this done, but guys, we've got to put the work in. Let's do it.
Navigation and tips. To navigate the training, you can use the navigation buttons in Legal Notice and Disclaimer.
The information provided in this course is intended for the educational purposes and no other purpose. Well, I'm here for education. I don't know about you guys, but I'm here for education. Peace, swag. That AI voice doesn't sound very diverse. Yeah, I agree. Sounds very white. So yes, no other purpose. That is the purpose. We are here. We are here for education. The parties involved in the creation and delivery of the course and any supporting materials hereby explicitly disclaim any and all liability for any action, advice, or opinion that results from use or application of this educational material outside its intended purposes. I mean, maybe that's just boilerplate, but all right, okay.
Course description. This course covers diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. It discusses how to foster a diverse and inclusive organization, describes the many benefits that can result, explains the actions that can undermine diversity, equity, and inclusion such as discrimination, harassment and bullying, and illustrates how unconscious biases play a role in our judgment and can unduly affect.
I'm already at the place where, like, all right, just do the thing.
Table of contents.
Table of contents.
Lesson 1.
Okay, lesson 1. Here we go.
Introduction to inclusion and diversity. This lesson presents an overview of diversity and inclusion in the workplace.
Yes,
Describes the
Thank you so much for hitting that like button, guys. Very, very, very much appreciated. And it's free, it's easy, and it helps out so much. Thank you.
Benefits in creating a thriving and happy workplace, and explains the ways in which discrimination, harassment, and bullying can lead to a dreadful and toxic workplace.
Dreadful.
Introduction to diversity and inclusion. Most of us spend the majority of our day and life at work. We have our personal life, and then we have our work life, and both are integrally tied together. In our work life as well as personal life, we have a choice. It can be a happy and thriving place, or
I'm trying to see if there's a way to speed this up a little bit.
A happy and thriving workplace is good for business. Not only is a happy and thriving workplace fun for everyone, but it's also shown to be good for business. A large and growing body of research has found that a happy and thriving work environment leads to dramatic benefits for employers, employees, and the company's bottom line.
You know what else is good for the company's bottom line? Merit and money.
For example, good company culture increases revenue by 4 times. Happy employees produce 37% greater sales. Companies with high employee engagement are 21% more profitable. Companies with happy employees outperform the competition by 20%.
So yeah, I don't see any sources on that. So just a bunch of sayings. All right.
Creating the ideal work environment. So how exactly do we create a happy and thriving work environment where everyone feels happy, valued and motivated? It really does come down to a simple formula of eliminate discrimination, harassment and bullying, and embrace diversity, inclusion and equity.
All right. So all we got to do is eliminate discrimination, harassment and bullying and embrace DEI. There we go. Bro. I'm dying here.
Discrimination, harassment and bullying. Before we can embrace the good, we have to get rid of the bad that can lead to a toxic work environment.
Sure. Can't be
the bad in this case is in the form of discrimination, harassment and bullying. These are the things that make a workplace a terrible and dreadful workplace for everyone and have negative effects on both employers and employees alike.
I don't know. I used to work at a summer camp, and I listened to a lot of ska music at that time, and I'm Indian, and they gave me the nickname Skandi. And I really liked it. It gave me some confidence. But I guess that's unhealthy because reasons.
These cause unhealthy tension between employees, loss of productivity, increased absenteeism, inability to retain employees, negative impact on company's reputation.
All right, I think I'm just going to read through what they say because it's
The
just
difference
so the difference between discrimination, harassment, and bullying. So in discrimination, discrimination occurs when an employee experiences some adverse action because of a personal protected characteristic, like an employee is fired because she's a woman. We can't have that. That's discrimination. Harassment occurs when an employee suffers unwanted conduct because of their personal protected characteristic. Be called a derogatory name because she's a woman. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Bullying occurs when an employee suffers abusive conduct, but the abusive conduct is not because of a personal protected characteristic. Okay, so an example: an employee is ridiculed because she, another woman, likes to express herself by wearing black lipstick, and you are not allowed to not like black lipstick, and if you do, you shut the fuck up.
The law. Discrimination and harassment are prohibited under various federal laws that have been enacted and enforced by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, to help guarantee a workplace environment that is free of conflict.
Okay.
These laws include
The
the Equal Pay Act, EPA, which prohibits sex-based wage discrimination for men and women. Title VII of Civil Rights Act, which protects people from discrimination due to race, sex, including pregnancy, color, religion, and national origin. The Age Discrimination in Employment Act, ADEA, which protects people age 40 and older. The Rehabilitation Act, which prohibits federal agencies from discriminating based on disability. The American Disability Act, ADA, which prohibits discrimination based on disability and requires employers to make reasonable accommodations.
Yep, Nick makes a good point. Well, so far, not very racist, but definitely sexist. So we've got all these different things, and again, they say bullying, while not explicitly prohibited in federal laws, is prohibited by many state harassment laws and company policies. You can see the timeline over here: 1963 with the EPA, 64 the Civil Rights, 67 with the ADEA, 73 with the Rehabilitation Act that protects federal agencies from discriminating based on disability, which then in the 90s, we got the ADA, which is just for more of that. And then 2008, there was still bullying, or excuse me, there was still discrimination and harassment all the way up until 2008. And it continues.
Who is protected under the law? Federal law.
Everyone except white straight men. Race, color, religion, sex, including pregnancy, sexual orientation, nation of origin, age. Why does it say 40 or older? Does it not protect your age if you're under 40? Disability, genetic information, including family medical history, and includes individual states can do and create other characteristics for protection under the state law. And we got a nice little rainbow of stuff. So you know that if it's rainbow, then it's good. So at least we're on the right track.
Discrimination, harassment, and bullying examples: causing emotional distress,
Oh no.
shouting or humiliating, inappropriate sexual touching, and spreading rumors. These all lead to a toxic work environment.
Yikes. Dixon said over 40 is protected. They don't care if you're 39 and under. Bingo. Apparently.
Diversity, inclusion, and equity in the workplace.
So once we have gotten rid of the things that cause toxic work environment, we can then focus on increasing the good. The good in this case is in the form of diversity, inclusion, and equity. What isn't? What isn't? These are the things that will make a happy and thriving workplace for everyone by ensuring everyone is treated equally, fairly, and with respect. Well, hold on a minute. Do we want equity, or do we want everyone to be treated equally? Because those are not the same things. We'll put that in our notes. for later. And then we've got all of these amazing things, increased profits. Okay, well, finally they're talking about money in business.
The difference between diversity, inclusion and equity. Diversity. Diversity refers to the idea of employing people from different backgrounds and experiences to get as many skills, talents and perspectives as possible. Diversity asks, who is in the room? Inclusion. Inclusion is the act of creating environments in which every single employee feels welcomed, respected, supported, valued, and equally treated to fully participate. Inclusion asks, have everyone's ideas been heard? Equity. Equity is the guarantee of fair treatment, access, opportunity, and advancement for all employees.
So again, when you say fair, what exactly do you mean? Because fair is saying who's trying to get in the room but can't, without asking, do they deserve to be in the room? There is an implicit assumption that everybody belongs in every room. Diversity, sure. Who's in the room? And of course, they're talking about race and sex. And that's all that matters. And again, has everyone's ideas been heard? You guys have seen that video. What was it? The socialist meeting. Maybe that'll get what I'm looking for. Come on. The point of order thing. Point of order. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's a video where these people were trying to have like a town hall type deal. Was this it? Let's see. Where'd it go? That's not it. Come on. Keep looking for it, but when they try to meet, every 5 seconds they're being stopped. And it was like, point of order, I need to have this point of privilege, I can't be listen to loud noise and everybody needs to be quiet. They couldn't get anything done because everybody needed the entire group to conform to them, instead of, if you don't like loud noises, get out of the room. Crazy. Dixon said, I think that may be it. Like, they want to force them into the room, then hope it'll work itself out. Bingo. Nail on the head. Because their goal is get the people in the room. Get the people in the room. And then we can say, we got you in the room. Whether they belong in the room, whether they will thrive in the room, is not of their concern.
Diversity, inclusion, and equity examples. Welcoming different perspectives and views.
Oh, wow. Actually talking about perspectives and views. Welcoming different perspectives and views, unless it has anything negative to do with race, religion, or no, you can mock religion. But, really, welcoming different perspectives and views, who are you lying to?
Is acting with respect. Including everyone, not just members of a specific group. And communicating openly, clearly and honestly. These all lead to a thriving work environment.
You mean like answering the question, what is a woman? Right? I'm getting a little confused because they're saying the things, but it doesn't really match up. Maybe I'm just stupid, and maybe they'll clear it up.
Unconscious bias. One of the most important.
Don't forget, guys. Don't forget, I got to take a final exam to get my certification at the end of this. What?
Unconscious bias. One of the most important barriers to diversity, inclusion and equity, and also one of the main reasons behind discrimination, harassment and bullying, is the concept of unconscious bias. Unconscious bias has to do with the fact that our brains are hardwired to make quick assumptions, and these assumptions are likely to be based on our past experiences, the information we have gained from our culture or background, and the media we listen to or people we admire.
And of course, in this culture, because it's all white supremacy, then your unconscious bias makes you a racist bigot no matter who you are.
It is these hidden assumptions, generalizations, and judgments in the form of unconscious biases that get us into trouble in the workplace. For example, our unconscious biases might lead us to believe that all rich people are smart, favorable opinion, or all poor people are lazy, unfavorable opinion. The most important thing is to realize that these unconscious beliefs exist and understand how they paint our version of reality and how we can overcome them.
Sure. Okay. So with no sarcasm there, like, unconscious bias absolutely does exist. But you can't assume what everybody's unconscious bias is and demand that they have it and then demand that they agree with you, which is what they're trying to do.
Test yourself for hidden bias.
Okay.
To examine your tendencies for harboring unconscious biases, consider the following statements and decide whether you agree or disagree.
All right. Welcome to Indie Boom. Welcome to the party. I am here doing the work on the journey, getting DEI certified. And we're all going to do it together. And hopefully I pass. We are going to see what is really behind becoming an expert in DEI. And then going forward, you can all tell people that you were, whatever racial issue comes up, you went to a DEI certified expert. And whatever I tell you, they have to listen to because they always appeal to authority, right?
Is there a reason that you feel this way? Men are better decision makers.
Based.
Women allow their emotions to cloud their thinking.
True.
Women will no longer be focused or committed to their job when they get married or have a child.
True.
It is difficult for certain minorities to learn quickly. Older adults are slower to adopt new technologies than younger adults.
True.
Young people aren't interested in working. All they want to do is play games, text, or goof off.
A lot of them, but not all of them. So we can test our hidden biases, and if we feel any of these things, then we're bad people. So if you feel like men are better decision makers and women allow their emotions to cloud their thinking, which is scientifically a fact, then you're a bigot. You have bias. If you think that a woman is going to get married and carry a child in her body and birth that child, one of the most amazing things that a human being can do, and that she's going to not focus more on that than her job, then you're a bigot. Okay. I'm starting to learn.
A thriving work environment is everyone's responsibility.
We already did this one.
Building a thriving work environment is everyone's responsibility. Again, coming down to a simple shared formula that everyone...
You are the epitome of older adults and technology. You are not too old to figure stuff out, and you just decide you do. So that is earned. Talk about merit. That is earned.
One can follow. Eliminate discrimination, harassment and bullying, and embrace diversity, inclusion and equity. Lesson 1 completed.
All right.
You can now take the quiz for this lesson or continue on to the next lesson.
All right. Let's take a quiz number 1. The majority of people prefer to work in a happy and thriving work environment. To create a happy and thriving work environment, everyone can follow the simple formula of eliminating discrimination, harassment, and bullying, embracing diversity, inclusion, and equity, tolerating discrimination and harassment and bullying, or both A and B. Ooh, where's my, do we have any? None of these sound like, I was going to try and find one that sounded like Jeopardy type music, but obviously we know our DEI. We need to eliminate and embrace. Yay! All right. So a large and growing body of research has found that a happy and thriving work environment leads to dramatic benefits for employees, and the bottom line. Such benefits include all of the following except increased absenteeism, increased performance, increased employee engagement and empowerment, or increased revenue sales. Well, of course, all of these things are good, and they're trying to sell you something. So obviously, increased absenteeism is not going to be one of them. Yay, we did it again. Shout out to Am. Welcome to the party. I am doing fantastic on lesson 1. I am getting DEI-ified. Welcome to the party. All right, next question. Before we can embrace the good, we have to get rid of the bad things that can lead to a toxic work environment. The bad, in this case, is in the form of discrimination, harassment, and bullying. Which of the following is an example of discrimination, harassment, or bullying? Select all that apply. All right, so screaming at someone out of frustration to get their attention. I would think that would be harassment or bullying, sure. Criticizing a person consistent, yeah, definitely. Expressing differences of opinion. Now, this is the trick question, because in reality and actuality, of course, expressing differences of opinion, like I would like to vote for Donald Trump, is not allowed. But that's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is telling people what we think they want us to say. And so we will leave that one blank. And of course, we get it right. I'm figuring it out. All right. 3 out of 7. The next one, just a true or false. Harassment or discrimination based on sex, race, color, religion, national origin, age, disability, or any other characteristic protected by federal, state, or local law is unlawful and also violates the employer's policy. Well, I would say that's got to be true. Oh my goodness. I am a DEI master. Once we've gotten rid of the bad things, so let's get this. Once we get rid of the bad things that cause a toxic work environment, we can focus on increasing the good. The good, in this case, is in the form of diversity, inclusion, and equity. Of course it is. What else would it be? Which of the following is an example of DEI? Embracing differences? Yup. Yelling to get the most out of employees. Now again, if your boys ain't doing shit, then maybe you want to raise your voice a little bit and get some shit done. But that's not what they want to hear. So we're going to leave that one blank. Going back to communicating openly, clearly, and honestly, but not actually communicating clearly and honestly, just communicating in the approved way that is clear and honest. And I think we're going to go with those two. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is a fill in the blank. Our blank are one of the most important barriers to DEI, and also the main reason behind discrimination, harassment, and bullying. It can lead us to make quick assumptions about others based on our past experiences and the information we've gained from our cultural background and circumstances of our lives. So what is this describing? So this could be our increased sense of vulnerability, or one of the most things, our unconscious biases, our loss of confidence, and feelings of frustration and or helplessness. Now, they're fucking stupid because only one of these is a plural and it says are. But let's just pretend that, this was an actually difficult question that Am got correct. Yay! All right, last question for lesson 1. Nurturing a happy and thriving work environment is the responsibility of everyone. Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious.
Lesson 2.
Lesson 2,
Discrimination,
guys.
harassment, and bullying. This lesson focuses on the various forms of discrimination, harassment, and bullying. Explains how some forms of discrimination, harassment, and bullying are illegal. And explains.
I just thought of something. I wonder if having this music playing underneath the Jubilee stuff would help with the copyright. It would have to, right? It would have to. I'm going to try it next time. Maybe if nothing comes up, there has been a lot that's been coming up. But next time we do a Jubilee thing, I'm going to try just keep this music on and see if that helps. That might be the key. All right, where were we? Moving on.
Introduction. We all have some bad days, challenging weeks, or even stressful months at work. However, having these challenges constantly is more than just work stress. This is a sign of a toxic work environment. A toxic work environment is a workplace that makes employees feel uncomfortable, scared, or intimidated due to offensive or unwelcome behavior. The unwelcome behavior usually involves some form of discrimination, harassment, or bullying. In this lesson, we will discuss each form. laws that are meant to protect against them, and proper methods for reporting and responding to claims when they occur.
So maybe I'm just a big brain, but I feel like these words particularly, discrimination, harassment, and bullying, were pretty well covered in lesson 1. So let's see.
Discrimination, harassment, and bullying examples.
They literally use this exact
Causing emotional
thing.
distress. The cost of workplace
They
discrimination
literally use
in the
this
news.
exact thing.
Workplaces have long been hotbeds of discrimination, harassment, and bullying. According to a new survey, nearly 60% of U.S. employees say they have seen or experienced workplace discrimination, harassment, or bullying. Consider the following recent headlines. A produce grower has agreed to pay $500,000 to 5 complainants and other aggrieved individuals who claimed they suffered discrimination during their employment. A famous eatery to pay $200,000 to settle EEOC sexual harassment retaliation lawsuit. An assisted living and memory care company to pay $39,000 to settle EEOC pregnancy discrimination lawsuit. A hospitality and management company to pay $400,000 to settle EEOC pay discrimination lawsuit. A home care service company to pay $160,000 to settle EEOC disability discrimination lawsuit.
Wow, all of that harassment and bullying and discrimination. This, guys, clearly, we have a journey to go on.
The difference between discrimination.
No, we did that one already. Nope, we did that one already. We did this already. They're just, it's literally the same.
Discrimination and harassment are.
What are they doing? It's literally the same slide. This was $30. This was $30. The second lesson is literally the same as the first.
Discrimination. Workplace discrimination occurs when an employee experiences some adverse action because of a personal protected characteristic, for example, race, gender, religion, national origin, physical or mental disability, age, sexual orientation, and gender.
Shout out to the liquidated. Welcome to the party. Say, get a refund. I mean, I need my DEI certification. I think that's very important. I'm just very surprised that with such an important topic that they would be so flippant. But, you know, maybe I just care more about DEI than everybody else. Yeah, I paid fucking $30 for this shit. I paid $30 for this shit. But I will be certified at the end. I will have a laminated card mailed to my house. And can't nobody tell me that I don't know DEI. I will be certified.
The adverse action can occur when making decisions about hiring, firing, pay, job.
Sorry, I didn't see your name there. Welcome to the party, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. So yes, it was $30. If anybody wants to put some money towards it, that would be appreciated.
Job assignments, promotions, layoff, training, fringe benefits, such as leave and health insurance, or any other term or condition of employment. Example: an employee is fired because she is a woman.
Again, we just did that in the very first intro.
Discrimination examples on protected characteristics.
All right, so again, obviously they're going through the same stuff: age, race, disability, sex, pregnancy, national origin, genetic information, or religion.
Direct versus indirect discrimination.
All right, now at least we're getting to something fresh.
Discrimination can be divided into the following 2 categories. Direct discrimination occurs when a person is treated unfairly because of a protected characteristic such as that person's religion or sexual orientation. For example, a person does not get a job because she is a woman. Indirect discrimination occurs when an organization has a policy or practice that might impact a certain group of individuals unfairly, even if such unfairness was not the intent of the policy or practice. For example, if an organization's main office can only be accessed using stairs, any employee who uses a wheelchair and requires the use of an elevator would be negatively impacted.
That's discrimination. That's discrimination. Even though it is not saying, hey, we want to keep these wheelchair people out, we have to be aware of our unconscious biases, guys. If you haven't put it together, this whole thing is very tongue-in-cheek, and I want to be demonstrating that this is silly. This is ridiculous. And in the same way that the actual documentary exposes by actually talking to people who make thousands and thousands of dollars on every time they utter this shit, you can see exactly what goes behind it. You can see exactly how paper thin it is, and then people will use this type of certification to get money. So they said it's about an hour. We're going through. They're repeating slides, so it'll probably take us about an hour and a half or so. Again, it's ridiculous that this is the kind of thing that can get you a $50,000 price tag to go and talk to companies like Netflix and Google and Apple and just tell them this, and you get $50,000. And then when you don't know the specific, like I do see, the last one had a source near the bottom, but again, none of this stuff has any sourcing. So you're just meant to just swallow it whole. Just direct versus indirect. And again, I'm not, saying that doesn't exist. But this is the level of understanding that people are getting about the world. You don't need to pay $30 for this. You don't need to be a DEI expert to understand that people in wheelchairs can't go places that have stairs.
Stupid.
More examples of direct versus indirect discrimination.
So, yeah, I'm just going to read this one. So, again, we have the direct discrimination. Would be a young woman works in a company. Again, we're going back to a young woman. I wonder who is the target audience for this course. Young woman works in a company. She's pregnant. She asks her employer if she can apply for the new position that opened up in her department. Her employer says she cannot apply because they are looking for someone a little more devoted. I mean, that seems absolutely fucking reasonable. If you're pregnant and you're as devoted as Steve, who's by himself, then I don't want you working for me. If you're going to be as focused on your job when you have a child at home, then what does that say about you? Maybe you're the exception where, you will be able to work just as hard because you have so many people at home and the type of job, you're home maybe. But still, what woman finds that to be desirable that isn't a crazy feminist? Come on. So so that was the direct discrimination. I'm going to move over to indirect. Of course, we can say an advertisement for a job as a cleaner requires an applicant to be a native English speaker, even though being a native English speaker is not necessary for the effective performance of the job. How do you know what to clean in the client's home if you can't understand what they're saying? No, get it? All right. Once you kind of get it and, they understand, you don't need to be a linguist to figure out what people want to clean. But maybe I would like to pay for my things to be the way that I want them to be. And they're very particular. I do happen to be very particular about my things. It has nothing to do with why you can't do things to my specification. But if you can't do things to my specification, then you don't deserve the job. But wait. We're throwing that out. So pregnant women should care just as much about their job as Larry, who is coked up and only cares about being CEO. And then it doesn't matter if you can't communicate what it is that you want from people. Just pay them anyway and hope that they get it right, because people that don't speak English are so much smarter than people that speak English. So like for an English speaker, you might need to tell them, hey, I would like you to do this. But if they don't speak English, they just know. That's how it works. So let's go back over here. What is this one? So right under the indirect of looking for somebody who you can fucking communicate with. An employer brings in a new shift pattern that states that everybody has to work one Saturday shift per month, although there are some unable to work due to Saturday being a religious holiday for them. The manager insists that they follow the new shift pattern and says it would be unfair to the other employees if they took off their shift. So this is an interesting one. I actually want to ask you guys about this one. I appreciate your confidence in my ability to pass the final exam. But again, if you can see here, we're looking at the bottom. An employer brings in a new shift pattern that states that everybody has to work one Saturday shift per month, although there are some that are unable to work due to Saturday being a religious holiday. So the question is, should those people simply get an exemption? Or I'm just gonna call it bad rule. So is this a scenario where, let's say you are Saturday is your holy day and you cannot work Saturdays, but for whatever reason we need things to operate on Saturdays and we need somebody to come in? Would it be reasonable to have everybody except the people who have legitimate exemptions to do the thing, and those who don't get the exemption because they have a reason? Or should we just not do that and let the company fail? So we'll do exemption, or no rule change. So that's what we're talking about. So if they, exemption means that the employer can implement the rule. Everybody has to work one Saturday, but if that's your religious holiday, then you're exempt from that. Or because there are a few people who have the religious holiday, or we have some people who can't work on Saturdays, then despite the business needs, we're just not doing that. And whatever happens to the business happens. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. So, freebie, welcome to the party. So where can I buy your shirt? You can buy this shirt and more at TheIndianJesus.com. We got a whole bunch of stuff here. We got hoodies, we got jackets. You want a pullover windbreaker? You can get one of those. You can get, what else we got? The long sleeve tee, the baseball tri-blend, all that good stuff at TheIndianJesus.com. Shout out to Free Breather, shout out to Indie Film, and welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Context. So the course is ongoing in a spectrum. There's no objective end because there's no perfect answer to anti-racism.
Bingo!
Exactly. Anti-racism is not a destination, but in fact a never-ending journey. Well, at least that's what Ibram X. Kendi says. Well said. So again, we have here a situation where an employee brings a new shift pattern that states that everybody has to work one Saturday shift per month, although there are some that are unable to work due to Saturday being a religious holiday for them. The manager insists that they should follow the new shift pattern and says it would be unfair to the other employees if they took off the shift. So is it okay to be unfair in those situations? Or should they let the business fail or do worse than it could? Because some people have a thing. Just kidding. Well, thank you for letting me advertise. Anyville said exemption for existing employees, but not new employees. I like that. Nick said, watching Let's Try to Play with this shit is hilarious. Today's a great way to start the week. There you go. Gomtag said, let the employees understand the guidelines and let them how to skirt them. I mean, I don't really know which side that puts you on. But Amp is with Indie Film. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think this is, if you've already worked here, like this wasn't in the job description. I have to work one Saturday every month. Okay, fair. But everybody else, hey, look, this is part of the job. If you can't do that, then you don't work here. I like it. Ayush said, we have confidence in not your ability, but the ridiculousness of the test. I've done this shit at all companies I've worked in, and I can do them in a full blackout. I did not even think of that. I did not even think about the fact that you guys have probably put a 1 in the chat if you've done something like this for real at work. I did not even think about that. I did not even think about that. God damn, I'm really hoping most of you have not. I'm trying to make it fun, I promise. Content said, make money and don't be surprised when the employees outsmart the system. Yep. Shout out to D-Trix. Welcome to the party. Said, I know you're not religious, but Chick-fil-A puts Jesus love in their chicken and gives everyone off on Sunday. Well, that's their way to do it. Damn it. Okay. Well, I apologize. I'm gonna, I'm trying to make it fun. Hopefully this will be more fun than when you had to do it for work. I did not put it together that you guys might have actually had to do this. That is a big. Well, we having fun. We having fun. Let's just make fun of it and go hard as fuck. All right. Everything you want to say when you were at work that you couldn't say at work. Now's the time. So before we move on, we still have direct discrimination by association. Not one that I've heard before. So an employer is interviewing. Oh, wait. Let's finish. So we have 6 votes. We have 11 people here and we have 6 votes. So I'm going to read the direct discrimination by association. And then we're going to come back to the poll. So if you have not already hit the poll, please do that. So direct discrimination. So remember, we have direct and indirect. But this is direct discrimination by association. So an employer is interviewing applicants for a computer programmer position. The employer determines that one of the applicants is the best qualified, but refuses to offer him the position because the applicant disclosed during the interview that he's a child with a disability.
What?
So here, I'm not sure why having a child with a disability would affect you being a computer programmer. So I don't think this comes into relevance when we're talking about. Yes, obviously that would be discrimination, but is that something that happens? Maybe, we're learning. Comtech said, implement the exemption, and hopefully the employees are smart enough to take advantage of the exemption. Can I prove that someone isn't the religion they claim, and would it cost more to prove it? Probably. Smart. Any film. So, do you know the least diverse position in a company? That would be the vice president of diversity. It's always a black woman. What does that make? All the sense in the world. Damn. So the best part of mine is that for all the discrimination types, you report up and to proper groups. But for trans, you're expected to stand up for the person in real time and then report it. So maybe that'll come up because again, you guys are more familiar with this stuff than I am. But so they would say like, if it's something with race, then go to your employee or you go to HR. But if it's trans, you got to do it right in the moment. Why? Reasons. Okay, so yeah, this one I kind of feel like is out of left field. Obviously, you shouldn't discriminate on things that have nothing to do with the job. So going back to the this shift pattern change, 71 of you say, yeah, that's a rule. That if you have an exemption, then you're exempt. If you're not, that's the rule. But still, over a quarter of you said no, because some people have this exception that, remember, we don't know why the new shift pattern is coming. For all we know, the company goes under without everybody, besides the exemptions, working one Saturday shift a month. Interesting. All right, let's move on.
Harassment in the workplace occurs when an employee suffers unwanted conduct because of a personal protected characteristic, for example, race, gender, religion, national origin, physical or mental disability, age, sexual orientation, and gender. The unwanted conduct can come from coworkers, supervisors, employers, or external sources and can
all that stuff. Example, an employee is called a derogatory name because she is Asian. As an Asian man, I can say that a good example of this would be like, oh, you ting tong sing so yeah, something like that, or like, are you feather dot dot? That's what they're talking about. You don't want to do that. No feather dot dot for Indian people. No ching mang chai pao. Don't do that for more of the Oriental. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Workplace harassment examples.
Oh, okay.
The more common and recognizable examples of harassment are described in more detail below.
Okay, so we got
physical.
Sure.
Direct threats of intent to inflict harm. Destroying property to intimidate. Physical attacks, hitting, shoving, kicking. Frequently following or standing too close to a person on purpose. Sexual. Vulgar.
Again, I can't stand it. We'll just go through these one by one. So if we look into the physical workplace harassment, direct threats to inflict harm, sure, no bueno. Destroying property, no bueno. Physical attacks, no bueno. Frequently following or standing too close to a person on purpose, also fucking creepy. Agreed with all of that. So far, I'm in agreement with the DEI standard. So I'm more DEI-ified than I even thought. Dietrich says, Dietrich says, since we can say anything we wanted to, this is to my old manager when I worked at Best Buy before I got married. I worked at Best Buy too. Damn, girl, you had a booty ass, spicy as your attitude, and I was down for the quid pro quo. She must have been. Okay. I wasn't sure if I thought in my head or if you actually said before I got married, but like, woo, she must have been spicy, as you say. Shout out to her. Gontek said, oh God, that's, I was trying to go with it. There's supposed to be, I have, Zippy gave me a plugin where every video you could speed it up, but these aren't, just video files. So it don't work like that. So I'm just, I'm just going to read through it. Unfortunately, we're going to end up, not taking up the whole time. Well, actually, I don't even know because we haven't been talking about it. So let's just do it. Instead of talking about it, let's be about it. Oh, look who's back! This is your response to a man being shot or attempted at being shot, and he's cooked. Okay, if that's what you think is a reasonable thing to say on the internet for other people to see. Am said yes, because they can take leave on behalf of family members. Required for companies with 500 plus employees. FMLA, paid or unpaid leave is a federal requirement. Did I miss something? Fair enough. I was like, please let there be a speed up thing. And usually the what you would call it? Is it up here? Yeah, there ain't nothing. But you could stop it and I'll just read it. So, we don't like to do that. So, all right, the physical stuff, I am all, yeah, bro, you didn't see that. That was what, yesterday or 2 days ago? He was golfing and Secret Service was up one hole ahead of him. And there was a dude waiting for him. They saw him in the bushes and took him out. Ryan Roth. He was a wannabe mercenary. Check this out. He's wannabe mercenary for Ukraine.
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
I'm 56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. We're battling a situation here where the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another, and it's just a matter of we need to stand up for that. That is the most important.
Knock knock. Who's there? Owen who? 0-2. No, the threat was neutralized way before he even got there. There was not anything close. But yeah, that's wild. That we're just joking. We're just joking about people dying. It's just a joke, right? Like,
important thing in the world is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that we all move forward as one collective whole unit.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army.
Everybody should come here and fight for the Ukrainians. They always miss. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Well, I mean, he didn't actually get a shot off, but yeah. Gontek said, that reminds me, I gotta tell you, in the after party, the insane amount of TDS I had to sit through this weekend, no amount of logic was making it through. I am very excited to hear about that. Dietrich said, oh, must not have been because it was a woman wasn't in charge of the secret security detail. The savagery. All right, let's finish this up and dive.
Motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience. So they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them.
Do we though? Sad, crazy.
Governments.
You crazy fuck. That dude definitely is nuts. Gomtek said, in this case, I am judging a book by its cover with this guy, but I think the hair says it all. 56 and hair like that.
Loser. Beta.
This guy is the ultimate cuck.
Beta.
Agreed. I'm glad we're all on the same page with that. But guys, we are here for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's jump back into it. So physical, I'm with it. Let's move over to emotional. Unreasonable work demands. Now,
when behavior becomes illegal harassment.
I don't know what just happened, but
some behaviors may be rude, inconsiderate, workplace harassment.
Yeah. So, okay. Emotional. So unreasonable work demands. Depends on where they're coming from. So I think they, being the people who would make this this course and push this ideology, I don't know that they would think unreasonable work demands are really a problem. I think that, they're totally happy just treating you like a cog. So I agree, but I'm wondering if they even agree. Moving on to discounting accomplishments. Yeah, I get that all the time. So if they're talking about from the top, again, I'm not disagreeing. Misplaced blame for errors, sabotage of work done, sure. So physical and emotion, I'm with them. Let's move on to the sexual. They say vulgar sexual comments, jokes, and questions. So what kind of joke? What are we talking about? We need some nuance here. Not everything is black and white. Some jokes are okay, and some jokes are a little, too far. Inappropriate sexual touching. Sure, we don't want any of that. We definitely don't want any prawn in the workplace. And then, yeah, I mean, shouting, yelling, all this kind of stuff. I aside from using curse words, not the worst thing in the world. But so far, again, I think that is a perfectly reasonable guideline for how not to harass people in the workplace. No sarcasm.
When behavior becomes illegal harassment.
Uh-oh.
Some behaviors may be rude, inconsiderate, offensive, and inappropriate for the workplace and yet not actually be harassment, which is considered illegal. The EEOC specifies that petty slights and annoyances might be inappropriate but probably do not constitute illegal harassment.
Probably.
In addition, isolated incidents might not rise to the level of unlawful harassment, except when such isolated incidents involve behaviors that are very serious.
Well, and what does Am say here? That sexual harassment lacks definition, in my opinion. It's pretty much up to the person offended. And here they're using that may be rude, that which is considered petty slights might be inappropriate, but probably do not constitute. In addition, they might not rise to the level. Like, exactly. What exactly are we talking about here? Whatever you feel is okay. Whatever you feel as an offended person, you get the priority to dictate what is reality. That's what we're learning. That if you take the victimhood position, then you win in the power game. Dietrich said, "Let's tie DEI into it. Why haven't the liberals hired a person of color? If they hired the guys that got Giulio Fulio on the job, wouldn't have gotten." I have no idea what you're talking about. What does I'm very lost. Is it just me? You guys get what? Explain it to me. I'm too stupid for this. Where are they? Okay.
According to the EEOC, harassment becomes illegal when 1. Enduring the offensive conduct becomes a condition of continued employment, known as quid pro quo.
Quid
a
pro
Latin phrase
quo.
meaning something for something,
give me a
as
little
when
of
a
this,
deal is proposed.
I'll give you a little of
2.
that.
The conduct is severe or pervasive enough to create a work environment that any reasonable person would consider intimidating and abusive, known as a hostile work environment.
Don't want any hostile work.
More examples of harassment.
So we've got even more examples here. We'll go through them. And we have the illegal and rude but not illegal. So let's start there. Let's start more on the softer side. This is not illegal, but according to the DEI experts like myself, this is stuff that we consider not appropriate for the workplace. Sarah just got a new job after being unemployed for many months. Due to her financial situation, she purchased clothes from the local second-hand thrift store. John, being rude and insensitive. Did he say that he was being rude and insensitive, or are you just assuming that he was being rude and insensitive? It doesn't matter, right? Okay. So John, being rude and insensitive, walks past Sarah and said, "Where did you get those flashy clothes? From the 70s?" Isn't retro, like, cool? Which brings me back to my original question. You say being rude and insensitive. Well, obviously, if he's being rude, then yes, he's being rude. That's the category. If you're telling somebody he's doing something rudely, then yes, it's rude. The question is, was it actually rude and insensitive? But of course, it's up to Sarah. And Sarah says yes. So John is fired. But that brings us over to the illegal stuff, the quid pro quo. Dietrich knows all about that quid pro quo, or would have, before he was married. Maria works as a cashier at a supermarket. The store manager knows Maria prefers morning shifts. He tells her she won't get the morning shifts unless she agrees to go out on a date with him.
Haram!
Agreed, creepy. Agreed, something you should not do. Do we need a course to call out, or do we need a course for everybody to take? Or should this course be for the manager that asks out Maria based on the quid pro quo? Dietrich said, Julio Fulio is a rapper that just got the rat-tat-tat. Gotcha. Okay. And so if they hired that guy that got all right, right over my head. Logic says conservative or liberal, we are being set against each other. Both sides represent good and bad qualities. None of us are perfect, but fighting isn't and has never helped. It only causes more confusion. I mean, I agree, but it depends on what you mean fighting. Because I think if you mean just discussing and debating with each other, I think that's the only way that we come together. And instead of siphoning ourselves off into, oh, you already agree with me, we're going to hang out. I think if you seek out people who disagree with you, I feel like you've done and come here and expressed that you have different opinions than I do. I think that's how you make things better. but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Am said, I've actually been harassed by 2 prior managers. One would make me stand in front of him and twirl so he could admire, and also would make everyone leave early and make me stay. Oh, he's trying to massage me. Ugh. I don't have enough buttons for that. That's sus. Yeah, and again, like the assumption of the type of people who make these courses and workshops and stuff, they assume that the average person is going to read something like that and be like, so what were you wearing? Maybe he was just curious. That's totally fine. He was just joking. That's what these people think, and that's why it's so dumbed down. And yeah, there are people like this, but that's my question. Is it all of us? Now, of course, again, I'm doing this on my own, because I felt like it. But those of you who said you had to do this at work, did you really need to be told that this type of behavior was not okay? What does it say about somebody who thinks that everybody does need this to be spelled out to them? What does that say about a person who thinks this needs to be spelled out to everyone? That they are the problem. Teacher said, I'll leave it at this. Libs hired 2 white guys that didn't get the job done. They love D.E.I. so much, they should have went with a POC to take out Trump and would have had better luck. Yeah, well, I mean, they ended up there anyway, but don't disagree. All right, so the quid pro quo, we got that. What about the hostile work environment? So we have a Muslim technician is contracted to maintain the office copy machine. Each time the technician makes a service call, the receptionist working at the office tells him an insulting joke. Again, we're adding in the conclusion before we get there. How do you know that it's an insulting joke unless we're taking the position of whatever he says? Whatever you're on the end of, you get to decide what is offensive and what is not offensive. There cannot be a standard then. But let's continue. The receptionist working at the office tells him an insulting joke. Sometimes she blocks his way when he tries to pass. Other times he calls him a terrorist. Her behavior makes the technician feel very anxious and unable to complete his work. So, of course, the rest of that stuff, haram! Not cool. And when you see the other stuff, blocks his way when he tries to pass, calling him a terrorist, and then you add that into the fact that she's telling jokes. Okay, now we're painting a picture. But I think this. Don't you think that the point would be made more strongly? The point would have been made, more strongly. The point would have been made more strongly if they didn't add the insulting. And they just started you off with, okay, reception works at the office and tells him a joke. Okay, no big deal. Then she blocks his way. What? And then she calls him a terrorist. Oh, hell no. Doesn't that give a much better demonstration of how innocuous things, like a joke, tied with other things, could be legitimate harassment? If the goal is really to have people understand this, then why do you have to make it the most obvious situation? Because even the people like Amber's manager, even people like this, when you make it this simple, they're not learning anything. But there's money to be made. Shout out to Mood. Welcome to the party. So what I miss? So I mean, to be honest, it's been very mild. It hasn't been. It's been don't be racist, more so don't be sexist. But aside from little things like here, so far I'm not seeing anything crazy. I'm just questioning the mindset of somebody who thinks this is necessary to the whole company. Again, a presentation like this for the manager that AMP had to deal with, absolutely. Let him have to do it 3 times a week. But everybody? Are y'all thinking everybody thinks this way? Because that sounds like projection. Because I already was not cool with that type of behavior. I did not need to read about it. And I said, yeah, they have no clue how bad it gets. Driving past my house every night, blowing up my phone outside of work to where his girlfriend called me to ask what's going on. Your boyfriend is a creep. Yeah, that's not cool. Not cool. Ayush said, this is the company's way to save their ass in case of some asshole being an asshole. After taking the training, we sign off on documents saying the company reserves the right to fire the employee if caught slipping. And I get that, but it's like, if that's what you're trying to do anyway, then like, good example with food safety, another, at least that is like the actual training. Like, make it better. Make it better. There are real situations, but they're way more nuanced than, oh, you called the Muslim guy a terrorist. That's not teaching anybody anything. Dietrich said the harassment video we had when our 9/11 service went county-based. Their plot line on would you say it to your grandmother? I told them I make her pay Cards Against Humanity and give her the worst cards on purpose. There you go. There you go. Yeah, he did. Yeah. And there you go. There you go. So the fact of the matter is, if we, I didn't, mean to go here, but they're the ones that have been focusing heavily on the female aspect of this. And again, going back to something that I've taken from Destiny, despite the notion of women understanding how to, when to, and where to create and hold to their boundaries. I'm not even talking necessarily in a romantic setting. We're talking about just in general, workplace or just in general. But again, like, this is that's not what DEI is. That's the problem. Is that it's hidden in the more innocuous messages, which I'm sure we will see as we continue.
Bullying. Bullying occurs when an employee suffers abusive conduct that is not because of a personal protected characteristic. The abusive conduct involves repeatedly mistreating, intimidating, or humiliating an individual by mocking and teasing in a persistent manner, yelling, screaming, or causing physical, mental, or emotional stress, compromising a person's privacy.
Because what I'm saying is that don't be a bully is not DEI. Don't be a bully, don't harass women is not DEI. It may be included in that, but to say that we need DEI because of people doing quid pro quo in the workplace, that's not the solution.
Or spreading rumors, taking credit for work accomplished by another person, accusing a person of making mistakes that weren't actually made, making threats, humiliating a person, either in private or in front of others.
See, now that's one. I mean, making fun of people or humiliating a person, depending on the level and the degree. What did they do? Did they deserve to be humiliated? Did they get up in front of a big client and we're supposed to have some grand presentation that they've been working on for 6 months, and then they just didn't? I would say that deserves humiliation. We don't want that to happen again. That is a great tool. Shame is a fantastic tool.
Unrealistic workload demands, setting someone up to fail, assigning tasks that are demeaning or degrading, preventing someone from having access to certain opportunities. Example: an employee is ridiculed because she likes to express herself by wearing black lipstick.
So let me ask you something, Mood. Do you think that without DEI, we would be able to come to a place where all of the things listed here, let's even put the humiliation, let's say humiliation is, we're not even talking about shame or taboo, we're talking about like humiliation. Let's take it there. Do you think that we need a focus on race and gender in order for people to understand that they shouldn't bully other people? Well, then we're talking about something else then. We need food safety, we need DEI, we need de-escalation, basic shit, but people, no. But people need to know what to do, and if they don't, they can get fired. Well, again, and that's why this is the basic stuff we're talking about. That there has to do stuff with be nice to other people. I'm not saying that's not a part of DEI, but clearly that's not the part that people have an issue with. Is that what are you under the impression that people are like, no, we should be able to bully people at work? That's why I don't like DEI. Is that what you think? Are you under the impression that people think that? Because you need to keep watching and you'll learn today, boy. And so my manager was a DEI hire. When I didn't reciprocate, he then began to attempt to retaliate against me. If I didn't get him fired, my boyfriend at the time would have put him in the hospital. So it's almost like somebody was given a job that they didn't deserve, and that led to all of the things that we've just been reading about. All of the things that all of us already knew were bad started because of DEI.
More examples of bullying. Bullying. Jill likes to wear black outfits.
All right, I'm not fucking reading that. So Moon says we shouldn't, but we do. We shouldn't, but we do what? Also, this is mainly for corporations. Unions will protect us unless it's been made clear to you, i.e. basic training. I think hate against DEI is just a boogeyman that doesn't exist. I know that you think that. It's very, 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 very clear that you think that. Are you willing to see that maybe there's another position? Or are you just claiming that I think this and that's the truth? Because I'm willing to be like, okay, maybe this isn't as crazy as it seemed. I'm willing to do that. So far, it's been pretty silly. But I'm willing to come with an open mind. Are you willing to watch this and say that, it is possible for Lutch to make a point that maybe we don't need this DEI. And maybe the hate is, maybe too much, but at least understandable. Are you willing to go there? I don't think you are. Well, I'm sick, and I think that's racism. I think that's racism is a boogeyman that doesn't exist. Bingo. Yup. So yeah, more examples of bullying. The goth girl. Jill likes to wear black outfits, black lipstick, and black nail polish. She must be part of the devil. Mary continually makes offensive remarks about her and her choice to wear all black, saying things like, who died? Black Widow Spider, etc. in front of everyone. I don't think that is bullying. I think that's not nice. But again, if you're an adult, you shouldn't need a presentation to protect you from that. You should you should have the social skills to be like, hey, I like wearing black, and I don't like when you do that. That is the lesson that we should be teaching people. Set your boundaries. This is what is appropriate, and this is how you deal with those situations. Not here. We need to protect there's a random goth girl working somewhere. And now everybody in America has to realize that who died is not an okay thing to say to Jill. This is worth the company money. This is worth your time at work. Okay, if that's what you think. Okay, fair enough. Context said sexism and racism is just propaganda to make libs have something to lose their minds over, and we were doing just fine before DEI reared its ugly head and forced people to care. Bingo! I mean, dilly to that. So let's see their explanation of why this is just a terrible, horrible, no good situation that can never happen. You can never make jokes about the color of people's clothing. Okay, okay. So they explained the co-worker's actions constitute bullying and can likely be disciplined for violation of workplace behavior policies. The co-worker has likely, again, you don't even have the parameters of your own situation. The worker likely has not engaged in a legal workplace. Well, if it's illegal, then it's illegal, and if it's not, then it's not. So you're the one creating the situation. Why are you putting, what's the word I'm looking for? Why are you putting vagaries into the situation? You're creating the situation. You tell us. You tell us whether it was illegal or not. It's your situation. Anyway, many employers, however, have zero-tolerance policy that prohibit inappropriate conduct. These employers may discipline or fire individuals who violate these policies, even if the behavior does not rise to the level of illegal harassment. So, sounds like something that's already taken care of. Sounds like something that's already taken care of, where we already have like an entire division of every corporation, like resources that people could use, like for people, like, I mean, you know, humans, like human resources. If only we had human resources. Because again, the backdrop to all of this is that whether if it's a public thing, then we have taxpayer money being spent on this stuff, and if it's your job, then that's money that is not going in your pocket, not going to the bottom line, as they brought up, not going to the bottom line of your company, but to you getting lectured. Oh, Hunger Dance. We have no sponsor right now. Hey, we got a Hungry Dance. Am said, if you're good enough for the job and can perform without excessive accommodation, then they will compete with someone with ideal skill sets. If they don't get it, on to the next. Try again. Bingo. That's it. Ayush said, bro, the thing you're missing is the companies are hiring international employees and the sensibilities of different countries are different. There's sessions. These sessions are in the spirit of making everyone aware of culture. Okay, fair. But then again, why that is not a, like, I don't, disagree with that. Fine. Okay, that's good. But then we have to talk about, is that a valuable use of company time and money for everybody to be doing this? If you're an American citizen, which most workers who have to do this shit are, then it's a waste of time. I will admit, the DEI in the workplace is kind of understandable, but forcing it on everyday people in normal daily activities has done nothing but harm. Bingo. That is the point. Am I saying, no, you should go bully Jill because that goth bitch don't know shit? Of course not. But it's like, do we need to be spending, again, I spent $30 to be told not to bully people. $30? Not to bully people? I'm good. Hey, shout out to Nick Lucetti. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Thank you so much, Morty, enjoying his bacon treats. And our boy Mood with the super sticker. Thank you. Very, very, very much appreciated. Always great when people who don't necessarily agree can come together. First super on a live stream. To me. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm almost wondering if you did it by accident. But either way, I very, very, very much appreciate it. And both of you are now the co-sponsors of the stream. All right, let's see what else we got here. And did we get on that? Yeah. All right.
What to do if you are harassed, discriminated, or bullied.
Tell
1.
HR.
Request that the harassment, discrimination, bullying stop. Tell the person harassing, bullying, or discriminating against you that you find his or her behavior unwelcome. If you don't feel comfortable confronting him, her, or the conduct does not stop, tell your employer. 2. Report the harassment, discrimination, bullying to your employer. Find out your company policy on harassment, bullying, and discrimination. The policy should tell you who in.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very, very, very much appreciated.
Your company is responsible for handling complaints. 3. Contact the EEOC. You may also contact EEOC to request information.
Wait, so Amud, are you saying what daily, like this, like literally sitting through this presentation, literally not being able to comment on have normal social comments because, oh no, I can't, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or that or that, which is something innocuous, something you and I would agree is innocuous. Like the example they gave before is that the girl went to the thrift store and the person was like, hey, the 70s. That's not like, why do we need to be worried about saying things like that if you know that you don't have hate in your heart and the other person can know, okay, you don't have hate in your heart. And then if it is offensive, then the person can say, hey, I didn't like that. And police say, actually, you know what? I'm actually fucking broke as shit. And when you brought that up, like, I appreciate that you like the style, but this is further delegating people's responsibility and accountability to others. It's somebody else's responsibility to make sure I'm not harassed, discriminated, or bullied. It's somebody else's responsibility. That is the issue. That is the issue. And said, I often work with people from India, UK, Australia, Spain, Singapore, and others. But why are other cultures more important than our own? We have to be silent so others can speak. That's not equal, but it's equitable. That's their goal. They don't want equality. They want equity. They say it right in the name. You said you can't isolate a single person, otherwise it would be considered discriminatory. Well, what are we isolating? What do you mean? What are we isolating somebody for? If we're isolating somebody for bullying, harassing, or pulled aside, and if they're not, then they're not. So maybe I don't know what you mean, but I don't get it. Contact. We're freaking inundated with it constantly. Come on. I can't even train at the gym or go to the library, even watch TV without it being front and center. Diversity of thought is actually amazing, but that's not what they're talking about. That ain't what they're talking about. They're talking about your pigment. They're talking about your balls. You fucking bitch. Yeah, but diversity based on how you're born and contributed to nothing seems as backwards to me. I said, shit, me too. Guantag said, outside the corporate boundaries, all we ever really needed to teach is the golden rule. Bingo. Everything else has overcomplicated the issue. Well said. Well said. What happened to the music? That was weird. Am said, what if that one person is the asshole in the situation? Bingo. Happens more often than not. Again, it's putting the responsibility on the group. It's putting the responsibility on the group. So if there's one person, then the entire group is the problem. That don't make no sense. Logic said, are you yelling? If we Americans didn't behave so badly, none of these diversity implements would be necessary. Well, they're already not necessary, so disagree.
Solicit advice or file a charge of discrimination.
Oh, yeah.
4.
So yeah. Oh, okay. I thought I was going to say act properly. I was like, that you can distill this entire thing down to act properly, but act promptly. Yes. If something happens, don't wait on it.
Protection from retaliation. Once a complaint of discrimination or harassment has been made, the victim is in a vulnerable position and may be subject to retaliation. Retaliation occurs.
Wait. You said you can only train those who who you feel like needs DEI training. Why not? This is how it worked with racial training and sexual harassment training forever. It wasn't a thing that the entire company had to go through. It was if you got in trouble, if you did something, like, hey, whoa, this is not okay. The norm is that people know that you don't bully people, you don't harass people. And so if you are outside of the norm, then we treat you like you're outside of the norm and put you through a situation like this. Why can't we do this? Why is that? Why? Please explain.
Retaliation occurs when an employee makes a complaint of discrimination or harassment and is then subjected to some form of punishment, usually a negative employment action.
So, what's wrong with discriminating based on things that deserve to be discriminated? Do you want all people who are? Do you not want people to go in jail? That's discriminating and putting criminals there. Do you not want? I mean, like, yeah, that's discrimination, but not all discrimination is prejudiced or bigoted. You don't let everybody who doesn't work, like, you discriminate in who you let into your home. You discriminate in who, like. This is a silly thing to say. Of course it's discrimination. Yes, we are discriminating against the people who are doing the right thing and not giving them bullshit. And we are discriminating the person who needs the behavior. They are discriminate from the people who don't need this information. That's what that words mean. And then you go to race. What? So in your mind, white people are the problem. Seems like you're the one who needs the DEI training, except for the fact that what does the DEI training tell you? That white people need DEI training. This is, guys, go see Am I Racist? Go see Am I Racist? This is exactly the fucking problem. Exactly the fucking problem. That is insane. That is insane.
Like being demoted for making that complaint. In workplaces that have strict rules governing harassment and discrimination.
What the fuck do you think a job interview is? What the fuck do you think hiring up? Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. That's just precisely and exactly what it is. It's a bet on you. If somebody hires you, they don't know you. So it's a bet that you won't act in poor ways, because we have social norms that people don't do that. Most people don't do that. So if we have a discriminate person who is discriminate from the norm, then we deal with that appropriately. Instead of making everybody a problem when they're not actually a problem. And I mean, sure, okay. I mean, I get that, but that should be a problem. That should be a problem that people are speaking out against. I don't think that's there's a million ways where companies and just entities in general want to protect their ass. That, like, okay, like that it makes sense from the company, but that doesn't mean it's okay to do. Like they gave, you know, all these all the like Pfizer and all them, they gave them immunity with any adverse effects. If there's adverse effects, then we should be able to do that. But you do it, you try to get ahead of it, and they're just trying to cover their own ass. But should they be able to cover their own ass is the question. Maybe, if you do a better job hiring people, and of course you can't know everybody, but that is why it's not everybody. This idea that everybody needs this, all the white people need it because they're all harassing people. That's called racism.
The victim will receive exactly the kind of administrative support that is both respectful to the victim and required by law. In workplaces without such strict rules, the victim can be victimized all over again through retaliation. Retaliation itself is a form of harassment and as such is equally illegal. Anti-discrimination laws prohibit employers from taking adverse action against employees for asserting their rights.
What is it that I said that has any relation to acting like this behavior doesn't exist? What is it that I said that leads you to believe that I'm in a position of we're going to pretend that this doesn't exist?
Example. Mark supported his colleague to file a charge of discrimination against the company where they work. As a result of the EEOC investigation, the supervisor refuses Mark's promotion, saying that his loyalty to the company is in question.
So if this is the case, if I'm a lawyer and my client gets fired harassing one at work, I'm going to fight the company saying they didn't properly train and this wasn't appropriate. That should not be a legal argument. That should not be a good legal argument. We have precedent on what people can do and can't do, and then there's no reasonable expectation that you should be doing this or that. That this is a non-argument. I agree with you that all of this is to protect the company. I'm confused as to why you are down with protecting the company instead of teaching people actually how to behave better. Because as you're admitting, this has nothing to do with having people act and behave better. It has to do with protecting corporations. So again, my question is, why are you so concerned with protecting big corporations? I don't understand it. Context said, I'm pretty sure DEI training has been implemented for quite a long time now. Why then do we still have so much apparent racism and sexism around? Has DEI just failed? No, see, racism is just inherent to this white supremacist nation. So we have to do the work. We have to continue the journey. But that journey's never done.
Stupid.
Nick said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. You don't get rid of something like discrimination by reversing it. You get rid of it by no longer participating in it. This is the difference between policy and culture. You can have a rule that you're not allowed to make jokes, but would it not be better to have people not wanting to offend other people in the first place? If you have people who don't want to offend others, then you're going to have a better, happier environment or whatever it is. If you have all these rules, then people are naturally going to be like, okay, well, how can I get around this? This is just not, if you understand anything about psychology, this is not how people learn. This is not how you accomplish the goal that you're trying to accomplish. It's just not.
The final takeaway.
The final takeaway.
As you have seen, discrimination, harassment, and bullying are all very detrimental to not only to the victims but also to an organization in terms of productivity, workplace satisfaction, and ultimately to its survival.
Wait, so Moon said, I care about the scummy guy who does something sexist, gets fired, and can get away with it because they had no DEI. So you're under the impression that something like this is going to protect the guy. Let's just go full board. Let's say he rapes a woman. You think that either he won't rape the woman, or that if he rapes the woman, it will somehow be better because he watched this PowerPoint.
What?
Please explain that to me, because that makes absolutely no sense. Oh, yeah, I know it'll protect the company. But again, why do you care about the company instead of the woman who was... Like, you understand that protecting the company also hurts the woman, right? And so why does a company need to teach someone not to be a douchebag? Bingo. They're an adult. They've already experienced life. They should know. If you can't tell that this is a horrible person, there's going to be... It doesn't matter what DEI or no DEI or IED or DIE. It doesn't matter what you do. There will always be people who fall through the cracks. But if you don't have a vetting system and ask people the types of questions that will let you know, okay, well, maybe I don't know that this is a bad person. This person's really good at the job, but I'm a little bit worried about their personality. Not so much that I'm not going to hire them, but we're going to put a red flag on their resume. That saves. Think about all of the money for all of the people that are not working, all of the money that company spent for that one instance. And you think that is a reasonable way to address the problem? I mean, I don't get it. I'm definitely lost. I am definitely lost. Why do you care about the company? Why do you care about the company? I feel like you should be here with me saying these companies shouldn't be able to just protect themselves from shitty assholes who are going to harass women just because they did a PowerPoint. Maybe we should hold companies a little bit more accountable for making sure their workplaces are, in fact, not toxic, instead of covering their ass so that when it does become toxic, the company's all good. So yes, I am lost as to why you don't want people to act better. You just want the companies to be okay when people act bad. I don't get that. And so the company has so many protections outside of this. I know because I've sued a prior employee and it's settled, but it was a big thing. It was ESPN. Damn. DEI is the least. DEI is the least worst of perpetrators. Does that mean it's good? The least worst means good. Least worst perpetrator. Any film said I had an issue where the bathroom was far from my desk. I knew I was not going to make it, so I peed into my garbage can. And when HR tried to fire me, I said I never received any training that I couldn't do that. And so, Mood, you're more concerned about protecting the company than making sure that the guy who's going to pee in his garbage can doesn't get hired in the first place or gets fired when he does. Because remember, the company's protected. I don't get it. I don't get it.
On the other hand, imagine a happy and thriving workplace where all its employees are equally valued and respected, and what an organization could achieve. That is the topic of our next section, where we look at how to embrace diversity, inclusion and equity to create a happy and thriving workplace for everyone.
Right. They should be fired for that. I agree. But they should also be, there should also be some onus on, if you are allowing things like that to happen, that's not okay. Just because you've now given this person the PowerPoint, you're like, well, I don't give a shit. They can harass whoever they want. It's not on us. So we stopped caring about whether people harass other people because they signed away any liability to us. That's what I'm not understanding. If you want better behavior, then why are you giving the companies an excuse to allow bad behavior? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I want people to act better. I don't want to protect sexual harassment or racism at work, and that is exactly what this is doing. That's exactly what this is doing. It's protecting the companies so that they don't have any, so that they can just throw everything onto one guy and be like, well, hey, we didn't know anything about, we did a DEI presentation. Well, what do you mean we should be paying attention to how people behave in our office? What do you mean that we should be aware that somebody is treating women badly? We did a presentation. We did a DEI. That's not on us. And you think that's going to lead to better behavior? That is insanity. Am said least worst. It's hardly the worst of issues that take place in the worst place. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, there's worse shit that goes on. I'm not saying DEI is the worst thing ever. Oh my God, we're going to die because of DEI. But it's definitely pushing us in a bad direction. And it does so in such a all-encompassing way that even if it's not the most worst, then it moves things in the direction that we don't want to. Shout out to Anna Marie. Welcome to the party. So DEI is necessary for corporations' ESG scores. In my opinion, that's about it. Seems to cause more animosity overall. I agree. That's what I was actually just saying. So, great minds think alike. It's almost like if you work in a place and that place has a reason to make sure bad shit doesn't happen, then you're less likely to have bad shit happen. When the place is not responsible, then they don't give a fuck if bad shit happens because it's already not their fault. It's already not their fault. When you do this presentation at work, no matter what happens, they don't need to care because they are covered. Their asses are covered. There's no reason to take Susan seriously. There's no reason. In fact, there's all the more reason to hide what Susan is saying. You can just assume somebody has the issues, but you must do something about it. If you're a business owner, you would do the same thing. Or let me guess, shut the whole company down.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about. You said they don't want to stop bad behavior. They're doing the culturally accepted bare minimum that is now DEI.
Bingo.
Yep. Yep. One way does it have to do with the company controlling their image? I mean, they don't owe the harasser racist money for unlawful termination. They would still be liable for sexual assault. Not if the company would be liable for sexual assault if they did a presentation and a sexual assaulter signed that they're not liable for anything. Seems like the whole point of doing the presentation, as you said, was to cover their ass for liability reasons. And now you're saying they would be liable. So which is it?
Lesson 2 completed.
All right, so
You can now take the quiz for this lesson or continue on to the next lesson.
I didn't realize we were going to be doing all this, so we're just going to skip through.
Lesson 3, Diversity, Introduction.
So again, we're going back to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Diversity, inclusion, and equity examples. Welcoming different perspectives and views. Always acting with respect. Including everyone, not just members of a specific group. And communicating openly, clearly, and honestly. A happy and thriving workplace is
So a happy and thriving workplace is good for business. Again, all of these things. A good company culture increases revenue by 4x. Source? Nope. Happy employees produce 37% greater sales. Source? Nope. 20% more profitable. Companies with happy employees outperform the competition by 20%. 10 times less, fewer sick days, and 4.6 times more likely to feel empowered with not a source in sight.
Benefits of diversity, inclusion, and equity.
Again, the same ones that we saw in lessons 1 and 2. Higher productivity, increased creativity, improved business decisions, improved knowledge sharing, decreased employee turnover. Well, once they sign the thing, then you can just slip them over there. It doesn't really matter. And last concern for a business is increased profits.
The difference between
And again, we're going through diversity is who's in the room. Inclusion is has everybody ideas been heard. And equity is who's trying to get in the room but can't get into the room. It doesn't matter if they deserve to be in the room, if they belong in the room, but we have to get everybody in that room. Even if they will not thrive, if they will fail in that room, we need to make sure that everyone is in that room. All companies care about is profit. Agreed. If you're in the way of profits, you must go. Right. So by signing a thing that said, I did DEI, you are now no longer in the way of profits. Whereas if you didn't sign that thing and you are part of the company, then the company has a reason to keep you in line because you are going to be in the way of profits if you create a scandal. That is, again, my point. Shout out to ZXY. Welcome. So they don't cite sources. It's all trust me, bro. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I would love to read up on these numbers. But they said nah. Shout out to M169. Yeah, I was so excited. I was watching. So I saw Am I Racist on Saturday. And then I saw it again yesterday with my dad. When I saw it the first time, I didn't get the name of the website. And because I saw it was $30 to do this. I could throw $30, and you guys give me $3.98 minus what YouTube is going to take to be certified in these things, so that when we have these conversations, then can nobody tell me that I'm wrong. Unless your certification is higher than my certification, whatever it is that I say, according to the way that these people act in normal conversations, if I have the certification, then I win. But like I said, I didn't really think about the fact that, maybe you guys have actually unironically had to go through this stuff. My bad. But we're skipping through and we're having fun. But yeah, if you missed it, you're just joining us. This is the lesson 3 and the third time they've used this exact slide.
Diversity.
So diversity in the workplace refers to the idea of employing people from different backgrounds and experiences as to many skills, talents, and perspectives as possible. So without even looking yet, I wonder if any of those things are going to be anything besides immutable characteristics. Let's see. Age? Nope. Race? Nope. Gender? Nope. Religion? Not really. Language? Not really. Nationality? Not really. Educational background? Okay, there we go. Political philosophies? Yeah, okay. I bet you're just waving out, please, Trump supporters, come work for us. Yeah, okay. But okay, fine. You got 2 there. 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 out of 9 is not bad. To build a diverse workplace, organizations can offer diversity training such as this one. Oh, you can give me more money. That's how you can be diverse. You can highlight diversity in the job ads. What? You can recruit from diverse talent pools. And by that, again, they mean anything that doesn't look like you. Request referrals from diverse employees. What is a diverse employee? An employee is an individual. If we have a group of employees, there might be diversity within that group. What is a diverse employee? A diverse employee. Okay. Whatever that is. Avoid management and hiring bias. Conduct blind screening of resumes. I like that one. Develop interview questions and applicant tests that respect differences. Well, while you're respecting differences, how about you also account for things that you don't want at your company? Like the purpose of an interview. Where are we at? People are not always good judges of moral character. Much like a guy may choose a female based on looks, she may end up screwing everyone in town. Same things when jobs hire people. See, but the thing is that as a man, when you look for the moral character of a female, you don't use what she looks like. So it's your responsibility as a man to understand what you do have to look for. So that when they show red flags, you're like, I'm good because I know better. Not, hey, can you sign this paper that says that you're going to be this type of person? MSC9 said, ours is industry specific regarding what we're required to do, but a core of it is geared towards this. Yep. Exactly. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I honestly would not have even done this if I had thought of, oh, you guys probably done this at work. I apologize, but we're here now. We're here now.
Inclusion. Inclusion, on the other hand, is the
acknowledge and honor multiple religious and cultural holidays. Sure. Welcome multilingual workforce. Sure. Use inclusive language. Is that a request or is that a demand? So when I hear inclusive language, I think pronouns. Are you compelling my speech? Or reflect everyone's needs and preferences at everyday gatherings. So it's my responsibility to know what you need. It's not about paying attention to those things. So if it is possible that I could be aware of people's needs, but it's my responsibility now. It's a responsibility. I know that was a rhetorical question. But yeah, it's my responsibility now that your needs and preferences at everyday gatherings are respected. It's also my responsibility to provide employees with a safe space to voice their concerns. Well, if we're talking, I mean, it doesn't seem to be aimed at the management, but okay, yeah, management should definitely have, human resources there. Facilitate ongoing feedback, sure. Create employee resource group. Offer accommodations, sure, all of that good stuff. But where is the stuff about making sure that Black people or women do get all the stuff that they've been systemically deprived of? That's my question, because that's what whenever DEI has been brought up, that's what I've been talking about.
Diversity and inclusion go hand in hand. In the workplace, diversity and inclusion must go hand in hand to truly make an impact. After all, a company can increase their diversity efforts all they like, but if they don't have a culture that ensures that every employee feels welcomed and valued, then their efforts may not be effective. For example,
and so this is going to give them that culture. Seems like if we need people to have the culture, then we need to let that culture develop instead of demanding that you just be like that. I don't know. Anybody I know don't like to be demanded that they behave a certain way. That's just me. I don't know.
If diverse employees are hired, but they then don't feel supported at work, over time their engagement and commitment levels will decline and they will seek out other work opportunities.
Oh no! Again, number one, what is a diverse employee? And number two, if they're not working, why do I care if they leave? Why wouldn't I hire somebody who wants to do the job? If you want to leave, fucking go. I don't know, nobody need to give me a job. I've made my own fucking job. And said, wouldn't hiring them automatically insinuate that they were welcome? Yup. That's why there should be a process to make sure that the people that get welcomed deserve, again, here's that word, merit, to be included. It's almost like if we make sure that only people who deserve a type of job like this, then we don't need to worry about the bottom of the barrel people who don't deserve that job in the first place. Amongst nine said, I hate the network resource group bullshit. Most of the emails I get are all NRG bullshit. I don't fully know what that means, but I completely understand.
Example, a diverse and inclusive workplace. Now that we understand diversity and inclusion, let's consider the following example. Diversity. A company spends time and effort recruiting diverse individuals, targeting job fairs through
are diverse individuals. They keep using this term. Diverse workers, what is a diverse person? Does that mean somebody who knows multiple languages? Does that mean somebody who's had multiple jobs? Does that mean somebody who has is biracial and has multiple races? A diverse person means one person who can do a lot of things. That's typically what would be meant by the pairing of those words. Shout out to the Eerie Fairy Tales. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party, said DEI, dumb exclusionary ineptitude. There we go. I know what it means. I know that that's what they mean, but why are we, that's racist. How are we dealing with racism? I've heard fight fire with fire, but I don't think racism works like that. But again, I'm just a dumb, racist, white supremacist brown boy. So, I guess I have a lot of learning to do.
Agencies whose goal is to place individuals from different races, ethnicity, age, gender, religion, gender identity, disability, economic statuses, and other backgrounds.
Why does that stuff matter? What does that have to do with the job that you're doing? I mean, they brought up a computer programmer before. Why does your gender, why does your ethnicity, why does your age, why does your religion, why does your disability status have anything to do with anything as long as you can do the job? And so we had a gay guy on our team. The worst worker, lazy, entitled, incompetent by choice, etc. And I volunteered to train him to help me. So I did. And he turned around and became worse than before. But he's diverse. He's a diverse employee. So it's your responsibility as a white woman to make sure that he is in a a situation where he feels comfortable to work. You expecting him to work like everybody else is homophobic.
How dare you?
I'm disappointed in you, Amber. How is it racism to include them when recruiting? It's not? Did I say that it was racist to include people? I don't think I uttered anything even close to that. What I asked was what their racism what their race has to do with them being recruited. Meaning everybody from any race, any gender, any age, any ethnicity, any religion, any gender identity, any disability, any economic status, as long as they can do the job. The purpose here is to hire somebody who can do the job. I'll flip it back on you. How is it racism to not include them if you genuinely looked at their merit and they didn't reach if they weren't the best candidates? How is it racism? And how does DEI fix that? We have 10 people. Let's say we have 3 positions. We have 10 people, 3 positions, And it just so happens that meritocratically, all 3 people hired are white. There's 2 white dudes and 1 white woman. There might be a black one, a black dude, a Hispanic, whatever. How is it racist that the best people got the job? That's my question to you, Mood. And shout out to Indie Film. And it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? I do. He's right here. Thank you. So very, very much, sir. That makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Very, very, very much appreciated, sir. Thank you. Oh, Jesus, a bunch just came in. I'm listening here. All right, so Moon said because the products you make affect those groups too, but in different ways. So allowing those groups to climb your corporate ladder helps everyone. Agreed. If they deserve it. What doesn't help anybody is to let people who can't do the thing climb the ladder. We don't want people who can't do things in positions where they're expected to do things. So you're the one assuming that I'm trying to say, no, keep the black people out, keep the women out. No, I'm saying include them just like you include anyone else. But specifically when we're talking about jobs, it is on the merit of whether or not you can do the job. Right, exactly. Hiring them for just being different is racist. That's what DEI is. Just including them in the recruiting is smart. Agreed. But when you say, I'm Joe Biden and I'm going to choose a black woman as my president, then you're not just including them. You're excluding everybody. Okay, let's do each other. Let me know if the sound is good or not. Let me know. There we go. All right. Sure seems like it. All right.
Equity. Equity is the guarantee of fair treatment, access, opportunity, and advancement for all employees, while at the same time striving to identify and eliminate barriers that have prevented the full participation of some groups. To create
It's almost like there's ways or reasons that groups would not participate in things for reasons other than discrimination. The only the only explanation for disparity has to be discrimination, right? So if there's only 7 white guys in the NBA, that has to be not because the black dudes are just better. It has to be because they're anti-white, right? That's what they're saying here.
equity. Equity is the guarantee of fair treatment, access, opportunity, and advancement for all employees, while at the same time striving to identify and eliminate barriers that have prevented the full participation of some groups. To create an equitable workplace,
I would actually like to know I would love to identify what those barriers are. What would those barriers be? I hope this is where we go with this.
To create an equitable workplace, companies can set the rules clear and apply them equally and fairly across the board.
You mean like your race and gender has nothing to do with whether you get hired or not? Okay. I thought that was like kind of the opposite of what they were doing, but yeah, agreed.
Provide each employee with the necessary skills and information to reach their goals.
Okay. So the worse somebody is, the more time and money you spend on them. That's just great business. That's just great business.
Give everyone an equal opportunity to be recognized.
Fair
Offer
enough.
employees a fair chance to speak up or present ideas.
Sure.
Provide flexibility to employees, for example, adjustment of work schedules and how they complete their work.
So, I mean, depending on the job, like if you are like, it depends on what the job is. Oh yeah, you just work whenever you want. Yeah, we were on an oil rig and there's 5 other people who are going to be out here for 6 months. You can't just show up when you want. That's not how that works. Maybe this is not the job for you. Maybe you want to go get a different job where flexibility is already built in to the job.
Equity is not equality.
You're
Many people-
goddamn right. Let's hear that one more time.
Equity is not equality. Equity is not equality. Equity is not equality. Equity is not equality. Many people think we can get equity by making things equal and same for everyone, equality. But that is not the case. Put in the simplest terms, equality.
Exactly. ZXY, nail on the head. Diversity wants people with the same ideology with different outer appearances. That is it. So if you agree with that, then why do you think that's a good thing? That's racist, dude. This is racist. So you are a racist. Okay. I mean, all right. Okay. Now that we at least you admit it. And that's, again, why there's just the non-stop projection of this is racist. No, that's racist. No, that's racist. Because he's racist. That's how it works. Like, we legitimately do not think that way. But everything for you comes back to race. It's because that's how your mind works.
Same for everyone, equality. But that is not the case. Put in the simplest terms, equality has to do with giving everyone the exact same resources, whereas equity involves distributing resources based on the needs of the recipients. To fully understand that,
not like, so if somebody does a bad job and they need a lot of money, then we give them all the money. And if somebody does a good job, but they already have money, then we don't give them the money. So that doesn't seem like it would work. And then you notice they use the same thing with the boxes, but they took out the baseball example. This used to be a baseball thing. There used to be a fence. Oh, let's see if we have it should be right here. Equity, equality, yeah. Yeah, so you've seen, of course it's tiny. So I've seen that, you have seen this before, and they say, so this is equality. Everybody gets one box, right? And so now the tall guy, he can see clear. The kid can see whatever, but the baby only gets the one box who can't see at all. And so they're saying, well, we want equity. And so this guy doesn't need any boxes. So he should give his box to the kid, and now they can all see. What do you notice? What's the issue with how this is set up? There's already people inside the stadium who have paid to be there. So none of them deserve to see anything. But then, of course, they take that out, and let's go back to, let's just say, everybody wants to reach the tree. Then it doesn't matter if you work for your 2 boxes. It doesn't matter if she does no work, because she needs 4 boxes. You have to do all of the work to not only get her 2 extra boxes, not only get her an extra box, but you still get the same 2 boxes. And there you go. There you go. Nobody paid to watch. But why is this good? Why is this something that we would want? Guamtag said, in the pic on the right, the woman in the middle is higher than the man and the short woman. Equality or equity is not equality. Equity is not equity is not equality.
Equity is not equal. Equity is not equality. Equity is not equality. Equity is not equality. Equity is not equality.
There we go.
Many people think.
What is it? Yeah, so here we go. Many people think we can get equity by making things equal and the same for everyone, equality. But that is not the case. Put in the simplest terms, equality has to do with giving everyone the exact same resources, which sounds good to me. Whereas equity has to do with giving everyone whereas equity involves distributing resources based on the needs of the recipient. And again, those who do less need more. Those who do more earn more. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Anyone else said, how come the brown people can't afford a ticket to get in? Thanks, Biden. Thank you. Remix. So ZXY said, what was the last one? Equity is reducing everyone to the lowest common denominator. No child left behind, and that means that everybody moves at the pace of the slowest child. ZXY said, which is why I try to avoid letting employers know my race before I'm hired if possible. I don't want to be someone's DEI hire. That's implying I can't do as well as a white person or a man on the job. Bingo. Exactly. And it robs you of the ability to know that if they did find out your race or your gender, it robs you of the ability of knowing that you've earned something. Ninja takes the handicap stall in every public bathroom while a guy in a wheelchair waits. I actually prefer the smaller one. I don't like all that space. Like, I feel vulnerable. And like, what you need all that space for? Like, I'm tiny as it is. I'm good in a regular ass stall. Rarely will ever I shit in public, but you know, when it happens, it happens. Glumdex said, if equity was ever actually implemented, I say we give people one chance entering their adulthood, and if you fuck it up from there, it's on you. We still have the same problems today, but we tried. I don't know how that would work out, but conceptually, I like that. Like, everybody, because you've seen the old thing where it's like, everybody stands in a line, right? It's like, take a step forward if you have both of your parents. Take a step forward if you didn't have to pay for this. Take a step forward, and so, each step is supposed to be the privilege. And then for some people, like the finish line's right at my camera, and so they're right here, and then other people are right here, and they're trying to talk about privilege, which obviously exists, but that's because things are not equitable, and the world is not the same thing. I did not forget any film. I got you. Give me 1 second as we jump back in here. I apologize. All right, yeah, let's just. Oh.
On the left side of the image, all three people have one crate to stand on. In other words, there is equality because everyone has the same number of crates. While this is helpful for the middle height person, it is not enough for the shortest and unneeded for the tallest.
So, did they earn that? Or we're just getting rid of what people earn and just giving people whatever it is that they decide that they want? Or, I guess, technically, whatever they decide that they need. I need 3 boxes. Okay, well, somebody has to make those boxes or earn those boxes. That's all well and good. But those boxes have to come from somewhere. They don't just fall out of the sky. So what is your response? Anyone says, she just said that everybody on the left has one crate to stand on. So they're clearly, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean? Yeah, they've, all through, so let's just say that this is one crate. So I'm saying one crate, 2 crates, 1.5, 1. Simple. But yeah, they end with, we should strive for.
In contrast, on the right side of the image, there is equity. With equity, each person has the number of crates they need to reach their goal. Therefore, we should strive for equity, not just equality.
Therefore. What do you mean, therefore? You didn't make an argument. Why is it that they should all reach the fruits equally? Again, you're creating the situation, and you have holes in it.
Example: equity and equality. Now that we understand the difference between equality and equity, let's consider the following example. Equality.
Question.
A company has the same policy, the same work schedule, and the same assistance for everyone irrespective of their family responsibilities.
Sounds like, as fair as you can be, and if you don't fit that, then you don't work there, and you go somewhere that fits what you can do.
Equity. A company supports the needs of the working parents by offering on-site daycare,
How much does that cost?
allowing flexible work schedules and work-from-home options,
What happens when you actually have things to do?
and offering paid parental leave.
Oh, so just free money. We're just giving out money now. No. No.
All in. Diversity, inclusion,
All in. Diversity, DEI together. Supporting DEI all at one time is not the right thing to do. But also this. It's not only. I was like, oh, all right. You're buying me. So, supporting DEI all at one time is not only the right thing to do, but also the smart thing to do. Right? Because anybody who's against DEI is stupid, and you should make fun of them because you're so much better and smarter than them. The concepts make the best sense when applied together. Diversity needs inclusion to be valuable. Inclusion must be structured so that equity increases, and increased equity often leads to improved employee outcomes. For which employees? For the employees that were already doing well, equity does well for them? No, it does well for the employees who are shit, who need that equity, because the ones who have merit don't need it. But this leads to improved company outcomes. Clearly not. By emphasizing all at one time, companies create a professional work environment where employees excel and are proud to work. That sounds amazing. Wow.
doing your part.
Jesus fucking Christ. I am not letting them read through all of that. PTO for all new parents, men and women, all in between, should get equal PTO. Yeah, fair. But again, like, this is just practical. I don't understand why this has to be tied into race and equity. Like, this is just a good idea on its own. Why does it need to be wrapped up in bullshit? Especially when we're talking about private companies, you can just do what the fuck you want. So you can just say, hey, at this company, we're going to have PTO for all new parents. I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to work there. And when I'm actually at work there, I'm going to work harder because they actually care about me. Instead of working in a way that I'm demanded to work, because if I don't, I'm going to get in trouble. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how people operate. Context says, shouldn't those bubbles be overlapping? Yeah, right.
All in. Diversity.
Yeah, diversity provides richer experiences, goes into inclusion, which increases retention. But yeah, they are overlapping a little bit. But.
Doing your part.
So it's not just up to the company to implement DEI. It's up to each employee of the company. Again, it's your responsibility to cover the corporation's ass. It's your responsibility to make sure that the corporation is doing okay. You, the average American, who gives a fuck about that? We are talking about covering the ass of your giant corporation that is continuing to destroy our country. Being able to understand and appreciate differences, respect learning, blah, 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 gaining knowledge of different cultures. Yeah, so if you are in America, then it's my responsibility to make sure that I know what's going on in Guyana. What? using body positive language, tone, and now we're tone policing. Being aware of any personal biases, including everyone, respecting individual belief. Again, like, this is such just basic shit. Like, why? I don't get, like, how, number one, I don't get how they can put this in the same category as the manifestation of DEI that we actually see in the real world. Like, this is different than the DEI that we talk about. This is just basic human decency, aside from the equity stuff. That's it's just exactly. The biggest con in all of this is making it out like it's for the workers. This is all about making sure the company is free of lawsuits and headaches. It was never about the workers. But, the Democrats, the party of the working people, they will throw any worker under the bus to make sure that the company is free of lawsuits and headaches.
Example 1. Create a more diverse, inclusive, and equitable culture.
All right, so a negative example of diversity. I'm conservative. I think Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This is the example they use. I am a conservative and think everyone else should think that way too. Projection! The audacity. At least be honest. At least be honest. And say, I'm liberal, which is the right thing to be, and I think everybody else should think that way too. That would be a legitimate example. Find me any job in the last 9 years where somebody, an employee has walked in and has had the attitude, I'm a conservative, so now you all need to change to think that, like, what? I mean, agreed, but let's find him first. This is every fucking liberal. So the positive example is, I'm conservative, but I'm always ready to work with anyone. Yeah, most conservatives are. Again, if we flip that with liberal, I don't know if I'd be able to say that with a straight goddamn face. Moving to inclusion, a negative example. My family never trusted anyone from outside the hollow. What the fuck is the hollow? I'm always leery of new people I meet from town. You just never know about city folk. I mean, if you've had bad... I mean, I wouldn't say that out loud, but that's a perfectly reasonable fear. And then positive example, I know my family has strong opinions of people who live in the city. As a professional, I welcome and consider the ideas and ideas of other people. So I feel this way, but I'm going to lie to you. Again, now instead of the situation where you have a racist person in the workplace, and then the management can be like, hey, we don't do that here. Now, company's covered. They're good. So it goes on the worker. And then you're going to say, well, they shouldn't be racist anyway. I agree, but we're talking about principles here. MSC9 said, what should terrify you is the concept of equity is now in healthcare, where the equal outcomes are openly expressed. Yep. I mean, the other examples here, negative equity or negative equity. How you are promoted depends on your. The audacity! So we all agree that a negative example of using equitable culture is how you are promoted depends on your ethnic background. Then why does everybody who promote DEI use and do exactly that? It's almost like this is bullshit. It's almost like this is just bullshit.
Example 2. Create a more diverse, inclusive, and equitable culture.
All right, we got Anaya, John, and Sarah, and now we have not only diverse employees, but we have a diverse company. Okay, at least the company is made up of multiple people. That makes a little bit more sense. But sure, okay. So we have a diverse company, and they're having a conversation about a end of year event. So a less inclusive culture. Anaya said, I want to order some food for the end of year event. Do you have any suggestions? John said, can we get some pepperoni pizza? I know that you're a Muslim and you cannot have it, Anaya, but the rest of us could still eat it. And Sarah says, I sure hope we don't have Indian or Mexican food, as I really hate those.
How dare you?
How dare your taste buds not be in your own control? The more inclusive culture, does anybody want to order some food? Can we get a mix of pizza options so everybody is able to eat something? I guarantee you that you could still go to HR with that, exactly what John said. And if we looked at what John said, can we get, like, how the fuck do you know that Anaya doesn't like pizza more than you do? I am the Indian Jesus. I don't like Indian food. I think that shit's nasty. This is racism. It's racist. You're assuming, based on how somebody looks, who they are. And of course, we have the white people always being mean. How do people not see this? Guantex, has anyone heard of Harrison Bergeron? The short story is bombastic, but exemplifies exasperated where this shit goes. Exactly where this shit goes. Who's they? Yep. I mean, agreed. Like what? Like exactly. So in this situation, if you're like, hey, can we get some pizza? And she's like, yeah, I can't eat pepperoni. Oh, bet. We'll do half pepperoni, half plain. Oh, no, I can't have it. All right, we'll get one plain, one pepperoni. That's just decent. That's just, again, the demonstration that the people behind this don't understand common decency. They have to make it this thing because common decency is so foreign to them. Like,
Example 3. The final takeaway.
Wait, we missed one.
Example 3.
So now we have a third example with Jennifer, Jack, and Alyssa. They're having a conversation about concerns for the new team from Japan on an upcoming project. So the less inclusive culture. Hey, shout out to Pescado Joe. Thank you so very, very much for the $2. Said Bergeron is a Kurt Vonnegut story. Very good author. I've definitely heard of Kurt Vonnegut. I'm gonna definitely have to hear all about that. Definitely bring that up in the after party. Welcome to the party, Pescado Joe. Thank you so much, sir. So, talking about Japan, Jennifer says the new team from Japan has some concerns with the upcoming project. It could be very helpful to clarify their concerns before a big deadline. Okay. Jack says no other team has any problem with the project. It's really hard to communicate with that team. Yeah, they don't speak the same language. Alyssa says they have different time zone. Scheduling a meeting that fits our busy day is difficult. That is just a fact. Is that not a fact? They have a different time zone. Scheduling a meeting that fits our busy day is difficult.
How dare you?
So what would be more inclusive? Jennifer says the new team from Japan has some concerns about the upcoming project. It could be very helpful to clarify their concerns before our big deadline. So Good Jack says we would be happy to work with them to clarify their concerns. They may see something that we might have missed. Yeah, because they're Japanese, so they see things different. Alyssa said, let's set aside some time to discuss their concerns. A brief meeting will usually help clear any concerns, because, white people, they get it. But for the Japs, we gotta pull them aside and make sure they get it, because they're stupid. That's what I hear. Hey, Pescado Joe, again, getting ahead of that hungry dance. Said I may be pissed on the inside, but I do work nicely. Come here. Yeah, say thank you to Pescado Joe. There it is. Thank you so very, very much. Much appreciated. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for my co-host, Morty. Thank you. Yeah, this is insane.
The final takeaway.
Okay, final
Embracing
takeaway.
the principles
Let's
of
do the next
diversity.
quiz.
Lesson 3
Oh
completed.
yeah, no, we're gonna skip the quizzes. I thought I skipped the quiz. All right, whatever. Yay! All the following are benefits of workplace diversity, except these are the same questions from the first one. Jesus Christ. Match the following terms on the left with the description on the right. Employing people in different backgrounds. Well, I want to read all of them first. Creating environments would be inclusion, and guaranteeing. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just straight across, no? Yeah, match right terms, diversity. Recruiting a broader range is diversity. Yay! Okay, 2 for 2. All right. Equality and equity do not mean the same thing. Equality is the good one, and equity is the Marxist one. D.E.I makes the best sense when applied together by balancing all in one. Companies can create a professional. Of course, they think it's true, but it's not. Employees should not depend solely on the organization to promote. Yep, it's your responsibility to make sure the world goes round, not these giant corporations that control everything. It's
Lesson 4. Unconscious bias.
Okay, so wait,
One
again,
of the
we
most
already did
important
this.
barriers to diversity, inclusion, and equity.
If you this unconscious bias, we all have biases. They're literally recycling. Again, I spent $30 on this. And they are recycling slides in 4 different lessons.
Filter on the world.
Think of unconscious.
Unconscious bias. Test yourself for hidden bias.
Okay, to examine your tendencies for harboring unconscious biases, consider the following statements and decide whether you agree or disagree. Men are better. Again, we did this one already.
How unconscious biases influence the workplace.
In the workplace, unconscious biases can influence all facets of an organization's operations, including whether, 1, interviewees are for jobs are recruited from across the board, a broad spectrum. Most qualified gets a certain job. Well, that's definitely not going to happen when you, make everything by race and gender. But, far be it from me. I'm just on my journey right now. Performance review result in a bonus payment. Okay, I'm down with that. New employees are mentored by people who can truly help their careers. That would be good. And also would lessen the need for these top-down things by actually pairing new people with people that you trust. Informed opinions are sought from qualified employees, and new and creative ideas are encouraged. There you go. Promotions are given based on merit. Wait. Promotions are given based on merit or favoritism?
What?
That's what it says. Promotions are given based on merit or favoritism.
How
What? Oh, hell no.
So, doing a good job and earning it is just as good as being the favorite. It's in black and white. I was waiting for the bullshit. Wow. Clients feel that they receive good service. Yeah, sure. Okay. Failing reconcile. But I mean, yeah, it says right there. Promotions are given based on merit or favoritism. Okay, these are okay. These are how unconscious biases can influence the workplace. So these are bad things. Got it. Okay, we're good. No, I messed up. So they're just saying how unconscious bias can influence the workplace. So they're saying that if you have these biases, then and it's funny because I agreed as did you, that these are all good things except for that. So we want interviewees that are recruited from across a broad spectrum. That is a good thing. That's what happens when you're what?
How unconscious bias.
I'll let her read.
Do you
it.
have an
Wait, I'll let
unconscious
her read it.
bias? How unconscious biases influence the workplace. In the workplace, unconscious biases can influence all facets of an organization's operations, including whether interviewees for jobs are recruited from across a broad spectrum.
Right. Why is that a bad thing?
Most qualified candidate gets a certain job.
Why is that a bad thing?
The most suitable employee is given responsibility for an important project.
Why is that a bad thing?
A performance review results in a bonus payment.
Why is that a bad thing?
New employees are mentored by people who can truly help their careers.
Why is that a bad thing?
Informed opinions are sought from qualified employees and new and creative ideas are encouraged.
Do I have to say it?
Promotions are given based on merit or favoritism. And clients feel that they have received good service.
Why would we want that? Why, oh why, would we ever want that? I'm speechless. The slides aren't diverse enough. Good one. They equate merit with favoritism. I think they're saying I don't know what they're saying. I really don't get it. I do not like there's good and bad things on this list. So they're saying bias can be implemented during good. So then if that's the well, I don't disagree with that, but that is not that's like level 2. If we're talking about that, if that's the case, I don't know that that's what they're saying. In the workplace, unconscious can imply all facets of an organization. Unconscious bias has been a bad thing throughout this entire thing. I'm glad that you're just as confused as I am. It's not very equal. People said, I think they're saying unconscious bias can negatively affect those things. Yeah. They all are, buddy. That's the point.
Do you
here.
have an unconscious bias?
Yes.
Who would you trust more in an important project?
This guy.
Which one is the better
this
leader?
Bitch,
Who is a better administrative
definitely not
assistant?
the black guy.
Who would you hire? John
And
or Yasser?
Definitely John.
We all have unconscious bias. What are your gut reactions to the questions on the previous slide?
Agreed. A bad thing like DEI can ruin a good thing like capitalism.
You've never met any of the people shown there, so what were
Yeah,
your
we get it,
reactions
we get it,
based?
we
Where
get it.
does unconscious bias come from?
Okay, so again, this will see, is unconscious bias a good thing or a bad thing, or is it just a thing that we need to be aware of? Because those are all three options, but the course is not making that clear at all.
Unconscious bias is part of being human.
Okay.
Our brains are hardwired to make quick assumptions based on the way we were raised, our past experiences, the information we acquire from our culture or background, the books we read, the
Yes, Moon, that was a black man. We typically don't like to just shout black man whenever we see one, but you know, do your thing.
places we visit, the media we
That's
listen to, and the people we admire. Unconscious
Yup.
bias is a powerful mechanism that our brain uses to help us wade through the millions of bits of information coming at us at any given time so that we can make fast and efficient decisions. But, as a result, we can inadvertently form opinions that represent biases toward someone of a different race.
Again, so what their race, gender, age, ethnicity, or other characteristics. So again, they're saying that this unconscious bias is at least something that you should be aware of. And it's still, it's how do you know, why are you picking the black man? It's almost like you should not just pick someone based on the color of their skin, because that's racist. Context said, how to get rid of unconscious bias in hiring. Equals, you never get to see who you're interviewing and everyone has a voice modulation. Done.
Common types of unconscious bias.
All right, so again, we're going to get a clearer picture of what they actually think of unconscious bias when they give us different types. We have the affinity bias, the tendency to favor people who are like us. Oh, they went to the same school. Must be smart. confirmation bias, which, we all know about that. I already think the thing. The tendency to focus on information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. The halo effect. The tendency to think that everything about a person is good because of one single positive characteristic. Like, they're a great speaker. They must be intelligent, kind, and funny. And this happens in politics all the time. All the time. You get somebody who, knows... Okay, I guess I'm here. Yeah, the halo effect is that, people will like somebody because they do something in politics, and they just think everything they do is amazing. And then the horn effect, the tendency to think, I guess the horn is the opposite of the halo, that, Destiny has blue hair, so everything that he does is horrible. Where we at? Indie Film said, dude, I wish every time you saw a black man, you did that. I'm laughing my ass off. Black man! But! Negro! That was me speaking Spanish. I trust him more. Looks like he can protect me. Oh, so that's all black people are good for, is their strength and what they can do physically.
How dare you?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. We're talking about the workplace mood. We're not talking about his ability to give his life for yours. You see how easy it is? Nick said, without knowing anything about anything about them, I can't pick any of them because I won't do it for any reasons besides qualifications. Crazy. There you go. Perfect halo effect. Taylor Swift's a good singer, so I'm voting for whoever she's voting. Good one. Honestly, that pause where you think something happened, like, holy shit, is just a loss for words. I've been at a loss for words for this whole goddamn time, but my screen stopped, so I didn't know if you guys could hear me. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird.
Attribution bias.
Attribution bias. So most common type of unconscious bias are attribution. Some more. So the attribution bias is the tendency to judge a person's behavior based on their observations or interactions we've had with that individual to make them pick up our perception of them. If they're late, they must be unorganized, lazy, and careless.
Bingo!
I'd say that attribution bias is definitely something you should do, especially for a new employee. If you cannot be there on time and ready to do what you're there for do, then I would agree that you are probably unorganized, lazy, and careless. Never, 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 even as a lazy, unorganized, and more or less careless person, never have I been late to a first day. Never have I been unorganized on a first day. So if even I can do it, you can do it. And if you can't do it, you don't deserve it. Conformity bias, the tendency to act similarly to the people around us regardless of our own beliefs, also known as peer pressure. We all know how that works on the left, right? I'm supposed to say this, right? I'm supposed to say that, right? 25 kids couldn't fucking take down one Charlie Kirk, who has just got more rhetoric and propaganda. We got the out-group and in-group bias, and every single race has an in-group, a slight in-group bias, where you would more like to be around people that are like you, that look like you, except, of course, white people who report to have an out-group bias, where they would prefer to be around black people than they would to be around white people. Sure. I'm sure you do. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Oh, he got them. He got them. Not being able to say one single thing in 3 hours for insane, dude. You're insane.
Beauty bias. The tendency to prefer attractive people and think they would do a better job than someone less attractive. They are gorgeous. They must be smart. Ageism. The tendency to have negative feelings about others based on their age. They are old. They must be slow. Gender bias. The tendency to prefer
this is my
one
point.
gender
You're
over
a
another.
fucking racist. Normal people don't think about shit like this. You're a fucking racist. That's why you think everything is racist, because your mind is clouded with racism. How do you not see it? It's right in front of your face. Everything you say comes back to race. You are obsessed. You are obsessed. You are obsessed. It is sad. It is depressing. Focus on anything else in life, in the world, anything else. I promise you, you will be a happier person. I promise you, you won't spend 7 days concerned about what some stranger is saying to you in a Discord community. I promise you. It's so pathetic and sad. Oh my God, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to know people like you exist.
Example of unconscious bias. To further illustrate unconscious bias and how it can influence decisions in the workplace, consider this scenario. An employer has 2 final candidates for a position in the organization's digital marketing department.
Okay, sure. When did I say that? Was I maybe joking? And you're just randomly throwing it out like I'm supposed to know that you're referring to something that I said in joke when you're saying in actuality? Come on, bro. Co-parter, you fucking racist.
In every other essential way, the candidates are equally qualified, but one candidate is middle-aged and the other is just out of college.
Yeah, I get it. Obviously, they
overcoming unconscious bias in
identify, challenge, and overcome. I think I don't think this person is exactly like me. I shouldn't think that they're not exactly like me because we want equity. We want everybody to be exactly the same. No, I said they report that they do. They report that they do. So the obvious undertone was that y'all are lying. You do not prefer to be around black people than white people. I said that's why I stress. If you want to run the tape back, I stress the word report it. It's almost like I knew that dumbasses like you would be able to take that and twist it and obfuscate it to mean something completely different. I'm just that genius. I'm 7 steps ahead.
microaggression.
Oh, boy.
Unconscious biases primarily affect the way we think and the decisions we make.
Let's hear this one out.
Sometimes, those biases can also affect the way we behave. While most of us have no intention of hurting others, we often
No. Equity would be the people that have less get more votes, and the people that have more, because they already have influence, they get less votes. By allocating resources the same to everybody, that is equality. Everybody gets 1 vote. That is equality. You don't get more votes because you have less in life. Obviously. And yeah, ZXY. It's like Robin DiAngelo. She's racist, so she thinks all people her color are racist too. Bingo. And I mean, this is not a spoiler. This is, they put out videos. But yes, Matt Walsh sat down with this racist, vile woman. This vile woman. And there's really just no way to describe how disgusting her mindset is, because Matt does a fantastic job of exposing it. But there's no question about the fact that she is a racist person, that she hyper focuses on race. She thinks that she is higher than black people, and she thinks that she needs to be a white savior, that by virtue of her having white skin, she is so much better than people like me that she needs to dedicate her life to making sure that I'm okay. Let's get this from Indy. He said it actually that would make sense because liberals think that they're superior to minorities. So if they are surrounded by minorities, in their mind, they're in the smartest group. Yes, but they're also scared of them because they understand that, reality. And so they, this is why when, slight spoiler that may already be in the trailer. When Matt Walsh is talking to Robin DiAngelo. So if you don't want to hear a word of what I'm saying, mute the video, and then I'll give you the thumbs up after I've said it. So she talks about how she goes to the grocery store. And typically, she doesn't really look at people. She just goes and she does her whatever. But when she sees a black person, she's like, I feel an obligation and I may have the quote wrong, but she's saying directly this: I feel an obligation to signal to them that I'm one of the good ones. You know who doesn't do that? The good ones! The good ones don't need to do that! The good, not racist people don't feel an urge to make sure that everybody knows that I'm the good one! Methinks she doth protest too much.
Unconsciously do so through microaggressions. Microaggressions are subtle, disrespectful actions that reflect our biases. They are often done in a casual way and can be quite common. Examples of microaggressions include avoiding eye contact or rolling the eyes, dismissing ideas before they can be considered, repeatedly misspelling or
You're stupid, but it's a microaggression against you because I'm smarter than you and know what you're going to say. Sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was such a small spoiler. You didn't miss much, but so I'll just back this up real quick. I'm sorry.
repeatedly misspelling or mispronouncing someone's name. Repeatedly misspelling or mispronouncing someone's name include avoiding eye contact or rolling the eyes, dismissing ideas before they can be considered.
So I said dismissing ideas before they can be considered. How do you know what I can consider? How do you know that when let's say we're talking about evolution, and you say, so you're saying that we came from? I can stop you right there and say, no, I'm not saying that monkeys turned into humans. I know what you're gonna say. I know that I know what you're gonna say. But that's a microaggression because you're too stupid to have actually talked to anybody who has got two brain cells to rub together before me. Hey, shout out to Sam Willard. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. We also got Mighty Starlock in the building. Welcome. Good to see ya. Sorry, guys. You got to remind me. I forgot about that. I'm in the moment. I forgot. It was a tiny spoiler, and but you're good. You're good now. We're good. We're back. Sorry, bro. Oh man. Okay. So Quamtech, and they say toxic masculinity is uncomfortable. Sheesh, middle-aged wokies can be so weird. I mean, LOL at the guy that shot Trump again. Well, I'm not really giving it an LOL, but feels yeah. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the video? Put a one in the chat if you did not see the video from Kyiv that I showed before from the shooter. Welcome.
Repeatedly misspelling or mispronouncing someone's name. Failing to acknowledge someone when passing by that person. Leaving
what if I don't fucking like you?
Person out of a discussion. Forcing or masking a smile. Changing voice.
When you go see Am I Racist, I want you to remember that part. Forcing or masking a smile. Forcing or masking a smile. You're welcome. You're going to remember that when you see Am I Racist?
Pitch when talking to a particular person.
Got you, bro. Disregarding
religious traditions or beliefs such as fasting, eating or not eating particular foods.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. Sorry. Your religion is your bullshit to deal with. It is not my responsibility to make sure that the food that you don't want to eat, you don't eat. How is it my responsibility? What are we talking about? The Trump voter. You mean the one who has blue hair that was in Kyiv trying to fight for Ukraine, that donated thousands of dollars to the Democratic Party. Yeah, that Trump supporter. I mean, Trump supporters, they're weird like that. They're almost like liberals.
Examples of microaggressions.
Okay, so before we move on, we'll just do this one more time.
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
I'm 56 from the U.S., from North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now, so flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. We're battling a situation
And
where
I was a never Trumper in 2016. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Is that an accurate way to describe me, or is that more semantic obfuscation?
The Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And it's just a matter of, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing.
I gotta pause this again. I love it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Owen. Owen who? Owen Do. Hell yeah. Yeah, right. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
The world is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united. So
yeah, we're all like this. We're all going to Kyiv to be like, hey, can we fight for Ukraine?
Make sure that we all move forward as one.
And you know what? I actually believe you. I actually believe that you think this. I actually believe that you think this. And that is the core of the problem, is that we know what you are and you think you know what we are. It's sad. It's really, really sad. If you guys would actually just open your minds, your arguments would get better and you might actually be able to do something.
We all move forward as one collective whole unit.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience, so they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians.
Yeah, that's what all Trump voters think. I'll drop the link here. There's a little bit left. I don't really care. We already saw this, but if you care, it is there. All right, let's finish this up because I want to be DEI certified. That is what I want for my life. So we've got examples of microaggressions. Many individuals are unaware that a simple statement or question can be perceived as a microaggression. I do not have control over how you perceive what it is that I do. Examples of microaggressions related to race, gender, sex, and disabilities include race. Where are you really from? You act so white. You're not like other Muslim people. You speak excellent English. You're pretty for someone so dark. So actually, those are kind of, I don't really like those statements. But again, I don't need DEI, nor does anybody else, to be like, unless they literally do, in which case, then we can give them the presentation. So, and then we go into gender. Wow, you don't really see many male nurses. Again, statement of fact. Why haven't you found a husband yet? Legitimate question. You'd be prettier if you smiled. Again, true. Mansplaining. Well, is she trying to say something and not saying it well? Or is he actually being a dick? Those are two different situations. One of them is shitty, and one of them is not. We got sexuality and sexual orientation. You don't look like a lesbian. I may or may not have said that before. What's wrong with this? Cool, you're my first trans friend. I've literally said that to my first trans friend. What's wrong with that? You're too beautiful for a trans girl. Telling on yourself over there. Man up. You definitely should be telling other men to man up. Are you a man or a woman? Wait a minute. I thought we were supposed to ask for pronouns. Now I'm just supposed to, am I supposed to assume? Or how do I address this? If I genuinely do not know if a person is a man or a woman, according to diversityinclusiontraining.com, how do I go about figuring out what is the appropriate and respectful way to address this person.
Stupid.
You can't. You just lose. You just lose. And you get fired. And they get promoted, and the country continues to fall. It's amazing what you people in wheelchairs can do. I mean, why is this you people in the wheelchairs ... Like, I think the first one is, I mean, you might get tired of hearing of it, but like, somebody's like, wow, I'm very impressed with the way that, again, I think people are just fucking soft. People are just fucking soft. I'm really OCD about my files. Again, does this person have obsessive compulsive disorder? Oh, you look so normal.
How dare you?
Haram! Oh, hell no!
Looking normal. Why would you want to look normal? What is fucking happening? What is fucking happening? These are the most innocuous fucking sentences. I am lost. I am lost as to what it is that they're trying to do. Who this is for? Like, I'm so lost. Once again, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if he voted for Trump back then. It makes me think he's more right-wing than Trump. Wouldn't that be a good thing for Trump? Yep. Yep. Like all Trump supporters, dude. He recruited Taliban fighters? I definitely do not know. Context said, middle-aged men shouldn't be coloring their hair anything in the rainbow at all. Call me old-fashioned. Agreed. MLC9 said, problem is, one person says something stupid, then everyone has to retake the training. Exactly. And that costs time and money and effort and all of that shit. And it shows a culture of caring more about the collective than the individual. Sounds like you'd be a dick either way if you ask or assume.
Bingo!
It's almost like if you go this way, then or if you go this way, racism. Either way. What movie is that from? Go out and text. I'll just pass everyone off and refer to all people as they. Can't get in trouble for that. Well, I go by it. Yeah, right. When the audio? What audio? Give me a second. I need a second thing immediately. If you hear something, let me know. When the fuck have you ever told someone that look normal? Never. Are we good on audio? I'm just gonna assume we're good.
The effect of microaggressions. Though seemingly harmless, small, and sometimes innocent offenses, microaggressions can have very detrimental effects on employees and the organization as a whole.
Hey, shout out to Ruthless Admin. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. ZXY said microaggressions are the trivia people obsess over when they don't have real problems. Oh, dilly to that. Dilly. Oh man, microaggressions are the trivia people obsess over when they don't have real problems. That's a good one. So, employees can have low self-esteem and feel devalued. We're almost there. 83 out of 80.
Microaffirmations.
Microaffirmations? That's a problem now too.
Once they are made aware of microaggressions and their detrimental effects, employees can begin to replace microaggressive behaviors with behaviors that are more positive. Microaffirmations are small, everyday gestures of respect that make the recipient feel included, valued, and motivated to perform better.
Oh, okay. At least it's
examples of microaffirmations include making eye contact, smiling, and using people's names. Greeting.
Hold on. Remember, I told you guys to remember the over and under smiling. There is a proper balance of smiling. And I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys. Please let me know when you watch Am I Racist? And I don't really know what to tell you. If you're not planning on it at this point, I don't think I can convince you. Because it's just like either you get why something like this is needed or you don't. And it's so poignant. It just, the juice is worth the fucking squeeze on that one. And it's so good. I just want to talk to you guys about it. Go fucking see the movie. I'm gonna finish this and then we'll come back to the comments.
People with sincerity and using an upbeat tone of voice. Giving credit to others. Asking others for their opinions. Using friendly facial expressions and gestures.
But not
Connecting
smiling
with
too much.
colleagues on a personal level and getting to know them beyond their job or role. Paying attention and listening when others speak. And responding to what is being said by paraphrasing.
Hey, shout out to Carl Johansson. Welcome to the party. Can't say that on here, but I will happily read it in the Discord community. Welcome to the party with the fire. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. You'll watch what? And I'm pretty sure, have we not already covered Jane Elliott? Oh no, that was in school. Yeah, I have no problem against that. Like, I'm totally down for that. Again, like when you say stuff like this, it's almost like you don't want to show that you're really racist. Like, like 15 years ago, I was on Jane Elliott. Like, but okay, cool. My wife gets mad at me when I give her microaggressions. I think they're good though. I thought they were good.
The final takeaway.
Oh!
When we become mindful of our unconscious biases, they are less likely to dictate our actions and decisions. Remember to examine how you think and challenge any assumptions or preconceptions that are not based on the facts. Be intentional about putting biases aside when making decisions, especially those related to interviewing, hiring practices, performance reviews, promotions, etc. In addition, organizations can do their part by putting processes in place to help eliminate unconscious bias in recruiting, interviewing, hiring, promoting and reviewing performances reviews. If we all, in the end, just remember to treat others the same way we would like to be treated, that would go a long way to fixing the issues we face.
Agreed. It's like that's the only thing. Like, all of the rest of this is superfluous. If we all, in the end, just remember to treat others the same way we would like to be treated, then we don't need to learn about microaggressions, do we? Ruthie said, this is all making me think, if you're not already planning it, to eventually do a series on basic logic on Philosophy Fridays. I don't know exactly what you mean by basic logic, but Philosophy Fridays is more just going through, the Crash Course channel did a really good job of kind of grabbing a lot of kind of entry level stuff. I'm not really, I'm not a teacher as much as I'm not like a newscaster, so that's not really a thing where I'm going to say, here's what logic is. That's we want to learn together. But yeah, if you have some ideas for that, let's do it. All right.
Lesson 4 completed.
Skip to final exam.
Congratulations.
Let's do it, guys.
You
The
have completed
final
the training and
exam.
are now ready to.
All right, here we go. All right, the final exam. 1 out of 15 questions. I need y'all help. I might be a racist, so let's see. Firing an employee because she is an example of discrimination based on which personal protected characteristic? What? I would assume sex, but would that not be sexual? Like, your sex is not that, right? Am I stupid? Like, being gay is not a sex. It's of these, it's the sexual thing, but even in their own shit, like, that's not actually accurate. Applying rules fairly, providing all employees with necessary skills and information, reaching their goals, and giving all employees the chance to speak up and present ideas are all ways in which an organization can promote applying all rules fairly, promoting equity, right? Reach their goals, yeah. Hell yeah! All right. Increase revenue, sales, performance, employment, a happy and thriving work environment. All right, should I let you guys? All right, so I'll keep this up. We'll see. I'll keep this up. You guys, give me answers too. So we'll see. We'll do it together. Where did I leave off? Sam said these people have internalized way of thinking. It goes like this. There are always insults or racism to be found if you look hard enough.
Bingo.
Yup. Marley Sarlock said, if everyone is offended about everything, then you can never say anything. We will eventually need training for speaking any words. It's so dumb. Exactly. We got those. Treat us others as you would treat yourself. Oh, okay, Jesus. I've never said that Jesus didn't have good ideas. In fact, I've been very, very open about how I think Jesus was a pretty cool dude. Shout out to the Dingus Man. Welcome to the party. So the first question and the exam is already somehow worse than the ones I did in high school. It's getting worse. Oh man. But hey, we're at the final exam. We will all be DEI certified by the end of this. We've got 11 questions. We got this. All right. So unconscious bias help us wade through millions of pieces of information so that we can make quick decisions. However, unconscious biases can also, it can also help employers create a job screening process that encourages diversity among job applicants. So it seems like it would be a negative thing. So produce a cohesive workforce, lead a greater degree of result in opinions that are formed inadvertently. Yeah, that seems like that. Right. Yeah, right. That's what I was saying. I was like, hey, they're Nick, do you make let me double check. Nick, you got the right link. Yeah, you're good. What happens when you join? Cause some score? What is score? What are you? Oh, I don't know what you're saying. What does that mean? Can't join Discord because some score. Just click the link. I don't know what happens when you click the link. I thought you were already in there. Isn't that you in the after party already? Sam, isn't this you right now? Yeah, you're already in the room. You're already in the room, brother. You can hang out right here. I'm gonna finish the show over on YouTube, obviously, and then I'll be back. You good. He's not a DEI enough to join the Discord. All right, let's finish this up. It's time for me to be certified. According to a recent survey, what % of U.S. workers have experienced some form of discrimination, harassment, and bullying? That was not in this at all. That was not in this at all. But I'm going to guess it's the highest number because, of course, it is. Of course. Obviously. That was not mentioned not once throughout the course. I didn't see anything y'all didn't see. Did I miss it? They did not talk about that. Tension among employees, decreased productivity, increased absenteeism, and poor retention are all characteristics of which kind of work environment? Not that one. One that tolerates discrimination, harassment, and bullying. Dingus Man. So this is what I mean by worse than high school exam. They ask you questions that they never taught you. Yeah, like what the fuck? All right, Where are we at? Number 7, halfway through, baby. We got this. Taking credit for another person's work, falsely accusing a person of making mistakes, assigning a person to meeting tasks, and setting an employee up to fail are all examples of workplace bullying. Greeting people with sincerity, smiling, but not too much. Paying attention when others are speaking and giving credit to others are all examples of blank, which are small, everyday gestures of respect that make the recipient feel included, valued, and motivated to perform better. So, that's the one. There you go, Mighty Starlock. That's the one we just learned about. I had never heard of micro affirmations before tonight. But here we go. All right. Recruiting from a wide range of talent pools, which they don't do, and conducting blind screenings of resumes are 2 ways in which an organization can promote diversity. Was that blowjobs? Maybe. Hooah! Okay, we're so far 9 for 9. Once we've gotten rid of the bad things that cause a toxic work environment, we can focus on increasing the good. The good, in this case, takes the form of DEI, which of the following is not an example of DEI. Embracing differences, communicating openly, clearly, and honestly. Well, that one, well, actually, both of these, unless we're talking about physical differences. So this is not DEI. This is not DEI, including everyone, just not members of a specific group. That sounds like DEI. Refuses to deal with conflict and differences. So I would, this is the correct answer, but they're going for this. Which kind of discrimination occurs when an organization has a policy that might impact a certain group of individuals unfairly, even if such unfairness was not the intent of the policy? Well, obviously, if it's direct, then that was the intent. So indirect. Guys, I'm so close to being DEI certified. The unconscious biases can lead us to make both positive and negative assumptions about other groups of people. According to them, they say, well, yeah, that is true. All right. Equity in the workplace involves giving all employees the same resources. No, that would be, a good workplace that has equality, and we don't want that. So we want the poor, shitty people getting more and the good, strong people getting less, and that is correct. All right. Penultimate question. The unwanted conduct that results in workplace harassment can come from anyone inside or outside the organization. Obviously, that's going to be the answer. Manager, supervise only individuals inside, only those employees who are the same management. Obviously, anyone. I am so done with this. It's not fun anymore. I don't want to do this. Just give me my fucking thing. Yeah, right. That's where the word deism and deist means God. Convenient, maybe. No matter how unbiased we think we are, we all have unconscious bias. As humans, our brains are hardwired to make quick assumptions, which are likely based on which of the following. All of them. God damn. It's all of them. How are we going to get past this? Yes! I am the DEI God! Pun? Maybe. Maybe not. I am the DEI God! Obviously, so we're going to put the IndianJesus. The IndianJesus official at gmail.com, which of course, if you guys would like to contact me, that is where you can contact me. I mean, I'm constantly in Discord and all of that. Let's download and print. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking fucking go. Let's fucking go. This is a certified that the Indian Jesus, aka the Indian Jesus, has successfully completed the course. Diversity, equity, and inclusion training. Let's go. Good until September. Until September of 2026. Can't nobody tell me shit about shit. What do we got here? We got my own card. Boom, baby. Boom. Look at that shit. My certificate wallet card. All of that shit. And the actual transcript. My actual transcript with 15 out of 15. Done. Let's go. Certified. It's official. Print and laminate, you goddamn right. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna buy a thing of photo paper, with a glossy thing. Print that and then laminate that. I think it's so weird. How can a conservative all have what it takes to be DEI certified? I'm not a conservative. It's almost like their stuff more than they know yours. Oh, Dingus said, I wonder how easy it is to edit that PDF. Yeah, it's only good for 2 years. Hey, racism is changing, baby. They need the $30 every year. No, actually you're not. Until you've got your own certificate, then, you ain't shit. I am. You ain't shit. I am. I am. DEI certified. Of course it has. Of course. Well, thank you. Oh, thank you. Guys, oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. So whenever you have questions about race, whenever you have questions about DEI, diversity, equity, and or inclusion, I am certified. Yeah, it's been 2 years since you were last certified. You are no longer certified and are now considered racist. Exactly. How else can they keep the grift alive? I'll take it. But goddamn. I mean, that's all it is. Y'all just saw exactly what it is. So when anybody is talking about how they are, have any authority, send them to me. I've got the certification. That's all these people care about. Who's the expert? Are you an expert? Yeah, bitch. I am. I feel very, very, very proud of all the work that I did. If you have questions about curry, ask somebody who eats that shit. It's nasty. It smells like shit. How do you guys eat that shit? I don't know, but yeah. Again, guys, if I had thought about the fact that you guys probably actually did this for real, then, I might have done like a members only thing or something. It just absolutely did not even occur to me. But thank you so much for being part of this. And, yeah, right. Guys, like the best part, you just said 4 hours through this nonsense when all those questions could have been answered without it. Time well spent. You are very, very, very welcome. And with the whatchamacallits, you're good, Nick. Yeah, with all the super chats, I only spent $12 to bring this to you. Only $12. But thank you so much for hanging out, guys. This is taking a lot out of me. It's so frustrating that I just need to head over to the after party. Shout out to you guys if you are a member. If you are new here and you would like a day pass, join the Discord and send me a DM. I'm in a good mood. And some of you who will remain nameless have gotten day passes. And I've been like, you know what? You're cool enough. You get to keep that. That's for me to decide. So come through and maybe you good. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out. Big shout out to our donations. We had Nick starting us off with no question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Mood right behind him with the super sticker. We had Pescado Joe with the two different $2 super chats. And then it looks like, hold up. Wait a minute, don't stop. Get it. Notification. And Quantex said, certified. Thank you so very, very much. Let's get Morty his treat. And I've got my certification. That is what I came here for. Thank you so very, very much, guys. Let's see what M69 has got. And then we headed to the after party. The truly fucked up thing is, because you're Indian, my company would likely take one look at you and hire you on the spot for a training based on your looks. Let me get that number, yo. Let me get that number. When you see, oh my God, when you see the amount that these typically women make for the workshops just in the Am I Racist movie, it's wild. So yeah, hook me up. I will grift the fuck out of your company. No questions asked. I will grift the fuck. I'll be like, yeah, that's me. What you mean? I'm with it. Thank you guys so very, very much. Exactly. Guamzek with the buzzer beater. Very, very, very much appreciated. Once again, guys, this is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Make sure you come through to the after party. It is free to join Discord. Come through. Thank you. Once again, Morty, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we DEI certified. Oh, out of here. Peace.